Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow.
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
We're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up, everybody? What's up?
That's good.
Well, guys, we got a special guest, the man of the hour. Big fandom coming in here, big family coming in here. Introduce yourself, boy.
Hey, everybody. It's BadGuy Jack, and I'm with you guys. Hey.
Family in the building, Clap it up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this has been a while coming.
What's up? Yeah, long time coming. BadGuy Jack is in the building. What is up, my family?
What is going on, family? It is great to be on the Blerd By Nature podcast. It's always been cool to hear my name and you say, hey, shout out, and actually to be a part of the show. I'm really excited. We've been talking for a while, like we're going to do some collab, and it's actually happening. Yeah, it's here. I'm very excited. Yeah.
That's pop. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get into it. Vibe guys. We didn't record last week, so Vibe Guys kind of in a continuum of these last 2 weeks. And right before we even start, Vibe Guys, big respect and big shout out to Mr. Man with the Plan. It was his birthday, so happy belated birthday to the co-host. Big respect.
Thank you.
Yo, guys, how was your? I guess we stepping all the way back to 2 weeks prior. So how was your weekend there?
There we go.
Oh, you want to start, Jack?
No,
ahead,
please
Jack.
start. No.
You're the host. You can start all the way. You run with it, Jack. You run the ball.
Oh man, how was my week? I'm really bad at these questions, right? Sometimes people are like, hey, how you doing? How was everything? I'm like, well, I don't have a warrant, so I think I'm pretty good. Things have been pretty good. I can't really complain. It's a new year, so I wanted to start this month off by not really fasting, but I guess disciplining myself and staying away from like the alcohol, drinking some mint lime water, limp water. I think I'm saying it right, hopefully, and just been trying to save money because as you get older, you're like, wow, money really goes fast.
Hell yeah.
So
you ain't lied about that.
Nope. So you start learning how to cook a little bit more and stay away from these fast food joints.
Hear that?
Heard it completely.
Me too.
Sometimes trying to put money for a little trip coming up. Bing, bing.
Oh man. We all talked about, being a nerd and living and how expensive it is to be a nerd.
Never cheap.
Oh my God. I get so mad when I see these I think they're called figure 96 statues or something like that. And they'd be like 200, 300, maybe even 600, and it's ridiculous.
Put
so yeah.
Together and stuff. Hell no.
Yep.
So
Please, take the floor.
Oh, so let's see. The weekend prior to this one, it was chill. I didn't do too much. The week with work, I was still phoning it in because I was just really getting back into the groove of things. And then we got to my birthday weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we did an escape room, which
Rikers that tried to fold us over.
You remind me, I gotta write my horrible review about that because we were robbed. We were robbed of minutes.
All right, so can you recollect the stuff, or was you schmizzed out and majority of the shit was kind of half baked other than them screwing us out?
Oh no, I was perfectly lucid when we did the escape room. So
okay.
Of course, when for this particular escape room, we went up the elevator, opened up the room.
Before all that, let's talk about how the fuck it was cold as hell again.
It's always cold on my birthday. That's why I hate
birthday.
This is horrible.
I don't know why the hell that the guys
weather
and everybody looked down at you and want to free you up.
Like the day before, it was nice. It was some good weather. Then the Arctic chill want to come in for my birthday.
Hey, maybe they're invited to the party.
You invited Jack Frost every year?
Jack Frost done pulled up and had an open invitation himself. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll up in here real quick.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, so we seeing as we get there, it's brick
snowflakes.
I'm like, it was like almost 60 degrees yesterday. What the heck?
Yeah, what's going on?
So, after freezing our behinds for a little bit, we start to go upstairs. We go upstairs, the elevator opens. It's almost pitch black, save for these few little lights that were flashing.
Now, cut back. This is a place that we went to prior a couple of years ago for like a haunted house theme stuff. And it was the same vibes again. Like, it was of the Halloween nature and stuff like that. So it made sense that it was like probably pitch black and the ambiance was set for that. But then when we ran back there again, it was the same situation. So that was just kind of weird.
And we were like, all right, man. And then the phone rings.
Yes, like last time. It's weird. It's a weird setup.
So I answered the phone. It's like, who are you? I was like, I told him who I was. Like, are you ready? And I'm like, almost.
Waiting for people.
Right. So at that point, we get enough people to go in. Mind you, we have not seen not one person but us since we got up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just us and the phone in darkness.
So once we get enough group people, they're like, all right, go to door number 1. So we go to door number 1. We go in there.
Yep.
And we a nice little cell.
Yeah, it was Rikers.
And then there was this little tiny prompt monitor that co-host could not see.
No, I had no glass in sight. So at this point, I was literally going with the flow. I was with whatever the hell y'all wanted because I couldn't see for shit.
Right. So at this point, we're doing the room. We're starting to make a little progress. So we get to a certain part in the room, and so for that part, we had to go through a Bible, and we're looking for we figured out the clue. We were looking for the page, and the page is literally not there.
I figured that from jump because when Kareem, it was me and Kareem looking at the Bible going through the spaces, and do you remember the number? I think it was like 50, like Isaiah verse 56:26, and we was going through the stuff, and we hit the point of verse 56, and then by the time we got to the section, I was like, all right, this should be like we're finding the shit, but then I was like, no, this shit look like something missing in here, and then Kareem points it out, and then we said it multiple times, shit is missing here. So we said straight to the hint board, and this nigga sending us facts. He just writes facts on it, and we was like, part of the game? Is this a joke?
Right, and so, we figured out some more clues. We continue to go through the thing. We got into like the second room, and we're trying to figure out stuff, and then we ran out of time, right? So at that point, right, then we finally see a person, and then he tells us the page was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But whoever was in there last ripped the page out.
Nah, he was fucking with us because he said not only was the page ripped out, he said he checked his pockets and realized he had the page.
Oh, God.
I'm like, excuse me?
He lucky he didn't get jumped right there.
Bro, the way how he was messaging you and the whole group in general, you thought y'all was going to take the lead pipes and pop some knees.
We should have got them clubs out of that second room and had fun.
Listen, y'all should have seen the way how he was writing messages. He was violating.
Yo, he really was. He was like, don't listen to them.
On that motherfucking typewriter, he was coming for everybody's necks that was commenting on shit.
Oh.
I was too blind to see shit, so I couldn't tell. All I know is this nigga was violating.
So we should have dragged him out.
He was explaining how shit goes and stuff like that. All I know is we should have gotten some more time.
We definitely should have gotten some more time.
Without a doubt. At least was factoring up and making maneuvers and shit like that, but that ended up, screwing us out. And then that's when one of the other home spirit finally showed up at like the very end. So we was all kind of confungled for the most part, but we definitely could have handled majority of that shit if multiple factors wasn't fucking us up.
Yeah, man, that one was like, come on.
This was unlike the haunted house version where there was like 10 of us rolling deep and we just couldn't find past the first clue, which was just an Easter egg. Like some of these haunted houses is too complex to the point that you finding out clues for shit that don't even matter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, every time we go to one there, something happens.
Yeah. Some other rigmarole shit. So definitely co-host and the rest of us gotta end up writing some shifty Yelp review about that. That was Mixie at jump.
For real.
Yep.
Sound like I still had a blast though.
I mean, we enjoyed ourselves for sure,
right.
but just in general, that was definitely a setup screw job for that.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves in general because we were all together, but we was just like, you know what? Ooh, yo.
Oh no, we deserve about 4 or 5 minutes up in there in that Rikers, yo. He should have been stuck in that cell with us.
Right.
About to have the inmates run the asylum.
Yep. Shit. 5 minutes in the other room with the game runner. Yep.
Facts. So after that, we was freezing for about 5 seconds talking about all the shit that had to go down in the shenanigans, and then after that, we ended up going to Sound Mouse.
Yeah. After that, we like, all right, we just gonna go get a drink, y'all. This is
Oh man, so dope.
Yeah, we was chilling out, and then we went to Sound Mouse, and then that shit had us held up for like a hot minute. We was trying to play some games, but everything was on hold for like a hot 2 hours.
Yo, literally. So we wanted to play pool. So the wait time for the pool was an hour and a half.
Yeah. And we talk about we going in there about like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody we was in the middle of trying to get something to eat, and we was drinking, we was chilling, we was trying to avoid other people who was playing pool, trying to knock us upside the head with the pool cue.
Oh my gosh.
Like, listen, man, we was trying to maneuver the hell what we can until that long ass wait time was taking us out. So after that, we just went on a mini food journey.
Yeah, so we went on the food journey.
That's your thing. That was your thing.
Yeah, so we went on the food journey, and I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story. So after I dropped you off at the train station, I went back, and when I got back there, they finally called me up for food. And at that point, I don't want it.
Well, yeah. I mean, by the time we got to Insomnia, you said you was number 13 on the list.
No.
And then so what happened there. So I met back up with Spirit and we played some Connect 4. We chilled, we drunk some more.
Okay.
And we just hung out for the rest of the night.
All right, cool. So so there you go. So at least vibes was big high for the birthday.
Yeah, I can't complain. I had fun on my birthday. All things considered, I had a great time.
Hey man, that's what matters. That's big. That's big. Mr. Man with the plan, he enjoyed the birthday. That's what we give respect.
Yeah. So Sunday was recovery. Yep. Monday I just lounged around for a bit, and then the work week came. It's been there. It's crappy.
You still
I don't
on
care.
autopilot?
No, I was actually active today. People was getting on my nerves for the rest of the week. I tried to ignore them for the most part.
Nerves activated you like the Megazord, huh?
Yep. I was like, yeah.
All right, man. Shit. So I mean, getting back into the thick of it, people are stupid. Just shifting your moods and whatnot. I hear that.
Yeah, I'm so happy tomorrow is Friday.
Facts. You got that half day coming up. Blessed.
Yes. Yes. Flex Fridays. I love those.
Well, all right. So stepping back, going back 1 week prior from the shenanigans of this weekend, me and a couple of homies went out to. So shout outs to this spot. This is more of a weekend spot. Unless you go there for if you go there during weekdays, they only got dinner preparation. But out in Brooklyn, there's a spot called Rule of Thirds. It's a nice little Japanese spot. It's got if you go there during the brunch hours, they got the Slay pancake. It's a giant ass pancake and stuff like that. They got chicken katsu sandwiches and stuff like that. So me, Lil, Kenya, and Dorinda all went out to that one little brunch spot, and it was super nice. They got the eats served really good, shit like that. We kind of made it a mini foodie adventures and stuff. That we went out to a fancy hot chocolate place. We got stuff there. We was finally early enough so I could finally bring Kenya to my one of my favorite donut spots. So we got mad stuff. So it was a good mini food adventure stuff over there. So that was the kind of good vibe general. So we ate a lot that day, and then from that point on it was just kind of chill recovery. That first that week back, getting back at work was just getting back into the attitudes and stuff like that. And still people was kind of, I guess they was using their early year vacation or something like that. Some people was out, some people was in. All I know is for the most part I was just trying to complete what I could complete. It wasn't until this week rolled around that the bullshit started to hit left, right, center. But other than that, it was just kind of paint by numbers for the most part. And then Mr. Man with the Plan's birthday came down. We had me and Ken had a good time. And then chilling recovery for the most part. Monday was off. Monday was MLK day, so chilling. The bullshit started to set in more of this week because everybody's back together and they're talking about left, right, and center about doing X, Y, and Z. All rumor mills just always pass around in the health center. It's always some other rigmarole bullshit. But as shit progress, I'll tell whatever Steve Powell starts to hit around pretty. So that's kind of it for the work week.
Nice.
Hey.
So that kind of situates us for Vibe Guy Jack.
All right, yo. That's...
Yep. So quick shout outs to everybody again. To everyone that supports us, the new people who loves us, some fans from the BadGuy Jack section of the unpopular review. Hopefully y'all listening, migrate them over, and we migrate them out. So you already know. Big bless. We appreciate and love all y'all.
Oh, definitely.
Sure.
Yep. All right. So switch it into the second segment of this week. Off the cuff. I wanted to talk about this because this has definitely been something that's been prominent in the radars for a bit. I don't know if you guys have checked out the show yet, but I wanted to talk about this week, Outrage, the Velma cartoon story.
Boy.
Yeah, so I don't know if any of y'all seen the first episode, the second episode, the third and fourth episode, as we're currently talking about, dropped today. But all right, so these last couple of weeks, it's been a stealing pile of controversy that's hit this Velma cartoon that has had Mindy Kaling's whole company hands in on all this. So giving a kind of informational backstory going on this. This is a new cartoon that's hit the waves of HBO Max. Velma, which is, Velma at the forefront. It's another take on Scooby-Doo where Velma is more of a Mindy Kaling character. She's a brown girl. The gang is all divided up. It's a Scooby story without Scooby so far as we've ever seen it. We have Black Shaggy, aka Norville. We have Fred, Daphne, and all this other stuff. But controversy started to hit the show as more information started to flow out about it. it. A trailer had dropped and people have been a bit iffy. Like the more information started to flow out, iffy stuff started to happen about the show. And then once the first episode started dropping, all hell broke loose. There's been reviews on bottom tier, hate, this is not even funny, X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. And it's gotten so serious that if you check IMDb page about it, it has finally dethroned Dragon Ball Evolution as the worst property of all time, pretty much.
Whoa! So that's wild.
So it's gotten that serious. It's got that serious. A lot of people have talked about it. At this point, like legit, you can check it out, and it's supposed to be bottom tier below Dragon Ball Evolution. So it's apparently that super bad. So just to put this out on the table, have any of you guys watched an episode, or have you seen the controversy, or what's going on?
I've definitely seen the controversy. I mean, anybody who has social media, you can see any of this stuff. And I haven't watched an episode. I've always hated Scooby-Doo. I've never liked.
That's a hot take.
I've never liked Scooby-Doo. I've always I just a strong dislike for Scooby-Doo because he would waste my damn time. But waste my time and whatnot. But hearing about this controversy. So when it first happened, and on Popular Review, we try to pick up shows and hey, let's review this and whatnot because it's hot. But then you hear all this stuff, and I don't know. I mean, they made changes, and I know a lot of people were not a fan of that. I'm trying to think of what else because I've heard a lot of different takes on it. There was that controversy because they thought there was this black girl, and everyone thought that was Scooby. That was the big thing. I think that was the big thing of this week that I had. That I was seeing the inklings of there, and I had to find it out for myself. And then I posted that around, and I was trying to figure out. I was trying to get the answer for myself and figure out what the hell was going on until I remember
somebody actually answered it, and then because I was about to go off, but I was saving my.
You and a bunch of other people too.
Because I was trying to confirm whether they lost their goddamn mind. Before that, I was hearing the controversy, and I had to take it upon myself, watch everything, and I even put Kenya on to watch it for herself because I needed multiple different opinions over it, stuff like that. Because for myself, when I checked out the first couple of episodes, my problem is I don't find it funny. I feel it dry. I feel it too meta on itself.
Not funny at all.
It's really not. As Max, you're gonna get a haha, and it's taken from to put it in example, there is like two kinds of range for this. There's the Velma show where you could get like a halfway chuckling and haha about it, but it's like very minuscule and it's very dry laughter. As opposed to ironically, so I don't know if people have seen this, but have y'all seen the trailer for the 90s show that's going on right now?
I think I saw a little bit of it, not completely.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So the 90s show is the secondary sequel of that 70s show, and so far, if you see the trailer, the cast looks a little cringy and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I checked out so far I've checked out a couple episodes. That has ironically made me way more laugh out than this Velma show. And this Velma show is anime. It's not hard to get a chuckle out of an animated show. No. But when it's just dry bones, that's very weird.
Well, I would ask you this. Seeing that you watched the 90s show, do you feel like they try too hard?
The 90s show has they try and put everything together. I came in this after the trailers literally underrating it and stuff like that. But as I got into it, even though I came in here with like predestination, I kind of feel like how I felt with Bel-Air. Like at first coming into Bel-Air, I was like, man, this is a bit too serious. I can't take the comedy of it how it is. But I feel like that 90s show already takes what that 70s show was doing and kind of amalgamates it to a point where it gives it a limelight of some laughter and stuff like that. It's
they build on it.
It builds on it.
They build on that 70s show.
It builds on it. It takes some of the characters. You get the returning characters for a big pop. You get different moments, stuff like that. But it's got gravity and hilarity to it, as opposed to Velma, where I watched straight 4 episodes, guys, and I think I've got one chuckle.
So where do you think they went wrong with Velma?
Sure, that's a good question.
Okay, so where they gone wrong with Velma is one, all the characters are detestable. I don't think I like one character. Fred, Daphne.
Fred has always been hateable.
Yeah, but this one is even worse than before. This is about the worst take on Fred. Like this is as meta as this is a terrible white privileged ass guy, and he's obviously terrible.
So we want to jump this dude. Okay.
At Down and Out, after the first episode, he becomes damn well like a major villain.
Wow.
And he hasn't been if I could throw something in, he hasn't been a villain since a pup named Scooby-Doo because he kept blaming Red Harry every 5 fucking seconds.
That was just funny.
That was funny. Yeah, he was always just blaming him for no goddamn reason.
Maybe he needed red herring.
He had beef. He had solid beef with that shit.
It was really on site. It was for no reason too. And there was that one episode where he actually actually got it right, but he didn't want to say. And he said, I knew it.
Yep.
Listen, the sky is blue. Oh, it's Red's fault.
Facts.
That's true. I do blame him for a lot of stuff. I spilled my chili dog the other day. I said, damn it, Red Hair. And Dinkelberg, too.
Yeah.
That's the same energy, yes.
Big agree. But yeah, so I think all the characters so far is detestable. I don't like them. They make very horrible decisions. They're short range of only 4. I'm halfway through the show, and then they're already announcing because there was so much hate watch. It has become I think HBO Max's biggest animated premiere.
Oh no!
So with that, there are already talks of a season 2.
I heard about
right
that
off the bat. So that's already become poison the airways straight off the bat with that. But yeah, so some of the jokes are out long. Like the jokes are so dry, and then there's so many jokes that it feels like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's so many random jokes. I think there was like I'm trying. It's so bad that like sometimes you can't remember some of these dry ass jokes.
I feel like what you're saying is pretty much is in this, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I do apologize.
No, go.
But pretty much it's just pretty much they're trying very hard and trying to be like now and today, and they're trying to fit all these jokes in, and you're like, guys, take a breath.
I feel like the way they do meta is the way they're trying to capture. So I know the second worst Scooby-Doo that people always talk about, which I love this Scooby-Doo because back in college when they actually announced it, at first the characters and the animation, everything about it looked like ugly. It looked Family Guy-esque. But Be Cool Scooby-Doo is one of the funniest. I will stand on this. It's one of the funniest Scooby-Doos of all time because they ask the actual jokes niggas have been asking about Scooby-Doo for years. They joke on the meta commentary that is so well done. It feels like early Family Guy when Family Guy was actually popping and funny.
That Scooby-Doo you're talking about, that was like the 2010s, right? Because that sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, me and my roommate was in college at the time. We said this shit was ugly and we wanted to check it out. First episode had us dying and we've been hooked ever since. I've watched every episode of Be Cool and they're all fucking funny.
And I love shows like that where you sit there and go like, I'm gonna hate it, and then you watch it and then you laugh and you go like, oh,
absolutely.
they got me.
I think it is the most underrated Scooby-Doo of all time. Just because it's ugly. And I will stand on it.
Just because it's ugly.
It's ugly. It legit looks like Family Guy early edition where they have a cutscene of Scooby-Doo where they make a parody of Scooby-Doo, but it's jokes. But it honestly almost gives the best characterization of Daphne because Daphne is both one of the funniest characters and one of the smartest characters.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, cool. Honestly, if we put that on the list as one shit to watch, I would definitely agree because one of the first 2 episodes is fucking hilarious. Be Cool's on a high standard, but like Velma tries all the meta jokes of that shit and it's dry. And some of their jokes will have you like, what the fuck is going on? This ain't funny. Like it at the core of it, it's not funny.
So is this the case of them trying to shoehorn Scooby-Doo on something they shouldn't have been shoehorned into?
Honestly, yes. I think they sell it on diversity and the way they diversity, it's bad.
It's forced.
It's forced.
Okay. I was gonna say it comes off forced, does it?
Yeah. In a sense, yeah, but it's also showing like the crappy side of it all, and it tries to make meta commentary on X, Y, and Z while still basing itself in it. It's mediocre, and I mean, co-host, you go hear this, but it's Yasuke mediocre.
Oof.
Yeah, it's Yasuke mediocre, guys. Ooh, it's representation for representation's sake, but it's bad representation, y'all.
Man.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Also, if you ever watch a Mindy Kaling like show that she produces, she puts her like Velma. It's less Velma and it's more just straight up Mindy Kaling mysteries and stuff like that. And she puts herself way too much into the mysteries where it becomes her own personal tropes. So people outside the range that come in here already seeing Mindy Kaling projects comment on this, that this definitely is a Mindy Kaling thing because they're already seeing themes of it, like her like Velma's creepy obsession with white people and disrespectful of people of color.
Wow.
That doesn't fit.
She has a weird obsession with white people that also comes off to disrespectful of people of color around her. Like, all right, to give y'all a snippet, Norval is a little bit, well, not a little bit, but Norval is kind of obsessed. He's got a crush on Velma so bad that it's kind of to a simp level, but like she blows him off while she's obsessed with the white people, aka like Fred is an actual detestable human being, but like she simps for Fred, and Daphne is voiced by Constance Wu, but I don't think Constance Wu is an Asian woman, but at the same time I don't think her being an Asian woman changes the characterization of Daphne. They haven't like said Daphne as a character in this show is Asian. She's just a plain white girl as a sense, like she's an adopted white girl. So at the same time she's like simping over 2 white people, and then like she's belittling her black friend that she's had for years, and she's like treating him like garbage. And I'm like, this comes off like straight up Mindy Kaling in real life.
I saw this one clip because clips float around.
Yeah.
And
I can explain it.
Yeah, and that one where she's seeing ghosts and he's explaining his love and she's just laughing at him. Yeah. I was just saying I didn't get it. I was like, oh, okay.
That's supposed to be played for laughs. So Norville is exactly that'll go through the whole show. Now she goes through heart attacks. Well, not panic attacks that seem kind of overdrawn and extreme to the point that they're less realistic to the people who got panic attacks. Like her panic attacks is horror inducing and shit like that, and they jump out of nowhere and they're on like the extremist level. So she finds ways to calm herself down, but she calms herself down by laughing at Norville's affections to her, and it's like he's expressing how he really feels, and she laughs it off, and she pretty much embarrassed over the phone.
See, you already lost me a simper for Fred, so you already lost me there.
Yeah, no, Fred has always been I don't care what you
Fred's
always been an asshole.
Fred's pretty much a man baby and an accused murderer in this show, and she's simply
I've never trusted Fred since Johnny Bravo.
I remember that collab episode.
Oh yeah, that was a wild time in the 90s.
Oh please, even there. So so far I've watched the episode 3 and 4, and the Gigi thing that everybody was talking about is a lead off into like episode 5, it seemed, and they showed a preview to episode 5 with the whole Gigi and Norville situation, and already Velma's coming off again like an asshole because she spurned Norville's affections throughout the whole series. The second he tries to get with another girl, she's like, I need him to do stuff for me. Like I'm annoyed that he's interested in this other girl. I want to use him. Like she legit says he's not paying any attention to me. I need him to take me places. I'm like, you're a trash human being.
So Velma really comes out like really unlikable.
She's the worst. She's the worst.
Wow.
The shit that she does is absolutely garbage. I'm talking about they characterize her to the point that you hate her as a child, you hate her as a teenager. She does some shitty things to the people she actually likes, apparently. Like she the way how I want to come back to this after you guys have maybe, if you are interested, to check something out of this.
Right.
But so far I'm watching to give a full scope of my reviews on it, and legit the meta jokes are terrible. The jokes are in general are terrible. The characterization of everybody, even the people I feel bad for, characters are no like as so far Norville is he's still no good too. His simping becomes something of obsession, and it's very creepy. Fred is a terrible person. Daphne is a mess. I don't know, man. This shit is not good.
So they totally just wrecked Mystery Inc. Like
yeah.
They pretty much said they saw what Freddie Prinze Jr. did and said hold on there, and they just like
they turned it into the basic of white male privilege in a person.
Yeah, that sounds so
baby in a person.
It sounds so gross. I'm gonna take a look at this because I was there's an interest in it, but as you break down all of that, it just kind of makes me mad.
Yeah,
like really mad. But I don't know.
Man, everybody takes their opinion to whatever they want to watch. So far, this is my opinion, and so far 4 episodes in, and this ain't it. And I found like it's so funny in a contrast with that 90s show where I just gone to that, and within the first episode, I was laughing a lot. So I know it's not me. I know it's not me, and these jokes are out. I literally watched the 2 shows in the same day, and I'm laughing over one side and not laughing over the other one. And one's 4 episodes in, and one's 1 episode in. I can tell the difference of one funny or not.
It sounds like Mystery Inc. is DC down bad.
Yeah. Well, no. Ironically, they're not, because they're drinking the HBO Kool-Aid because HBO is clearing and they cutting the check. So they're gonna be down bad. With this situation, it's becoming an Ezra Miller all over again. The world hates it, but HBO Max is cutting the check.
Scooby, save us.
Scooby not in the show, so no.
I know.
Scooby knew that this shit was so bad.
It was so bad. Scooby dipped. He's like, nah.
Scooby said, nah. Scooby said, don't use my name. And
he's like, don't use my name. I like this. No roof, no nothing. Don't even put me in the intro. Nothing.
Don't even mention me.
Yeah. The only thing that we've gotten so far is there was like a random person who, I think in like one of the episodes, there was a random person who drew a dog that kind of looked like Scooby, and I was like, that is as far as you niggas is gonna get.
There you go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And it was like it didn't even look like Scooby. It looked like a realistic Scooby looking dog dog with a little Scooby chain, stuff like that. That's about it.
I guess even Red Herring was like, nah, miss me on this.
Oh, fact.
I wish Red Herring. I mean, I wish he was here. He probably could have saved the show slightly.
Red Herring's like, don't put in this shit.
Don't do it.
Right?
Don't mention me.
So it's terrible to get all this diversity in this show that's not working at all.
Sound like it needs to be put down there with that shall not be named.
It should have, but it looked like it's a situation. Hell, I don't know, man.
Don't you say it.
I think people might appreciate this live action more than that. That's how down bad. Hey, if you got something below Dragon Ball Evolution, do you know how bad that is?
It's the shit.
Yeah, it's up Shit's Creek, y'all.
Yeah, oof.
Yep,
that's a terrible creek to be going down.
Facts.
It really is.
Yeah, that really is. I never saw Dragon Ball Evolution, but I heard how bad it was, and I was like, yeah. No, I won't. No.
Just like
I actually did.
Just like the Avatar movie, don't.
Yeah, see that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I ain't even talking to blue people.
Oh, you talking about the actual post?
I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan and the mess.
Oh.
No. That's a whole other.
I'm not gonna lie. I did think you was talking about the blue people.
Nah, I ain't even talking about the blue people. I'm talking about even worse.
Not because the blue people somehow they always seem to make their money back, and I don't understand who is going to watch it.
Not blue people.
Obviously, because obviously
they made their money back tenfold in blood, and that shit continued to crawl. I think it just beat Spider-Man No Way Home.
Gross,
disgusting.
Yep,
it's a great disrespect act, if you ask me.
Right there you go.
It's crawling close to Endgame and Infinity Wars, y'all. I think it's crawling so close that it's about to reach Avatar 1.
Yeah, Avatar 1. I heard it made like a lot of money.
It made the most money, y'all.
I never understood the appeal of it. I never got it. I don't know. Did any of you guys see this? Because I never saw the movie. I just saw a bunch of blue people, and I said, nah.
Never saw it. Don't get it.
So what it is basically is it's your garden. What everybody likes to describe it, and it's very true. It's a movie that is insensitive in a world after the movie Get Out. It's basically white people. It's premisely, if you've seen Get Out, it's premisely that movie. Only you're looking at it from a hero's perspective. White people are putting themselves in alien Native American bodies and just using it to benefit themselves and help the planet Earth by destroying a whole colonization and pretty much Pocahontasing the shit out of this thing. It's a white savior. It's a white savior complex that is destroying a Native American alien civilization for the roots of Earth civilization. And they do it constantly. That's the premise of the movie. Pretty much white people put themselves into blue people's bodies and try to take over the territory for their resources. One person becomes the white savior trying to save them from the very people that he was fucking working for in the first place. So he flips on them, and then at the end he pretty much joins the civilization. That's pretty much what the movie. It's white savior.
Sound like some real Christopher Columbus shit.
Yeah. Discover, outright kill the people, join the people, and then you become part of the people, and then that's pretty much the first.
Well, damn.
That's the Avatar. That's the Avatar.
And the dynamite went boom.
It's a movie set in a time where they had this planned out well before Get Out became poppin', and then people watch Get Out as a movie and realize, yeah, white people are trying to steal black body. Now it's only okay because they can steal alien body. But I mean, people of color sees this shit and they're like, we see, and it's on a backdrop because it's a fancy looking. It's literally it's the visuals are the most popping thing about it. That's why it's selling. It's a movie it's a movie that's way too fucking long and the visuals are pop. That's it. That's all they can sell you on, and that's how it is.
Wow.
That's a good synopsis, and I'm like,
yeah, he broke that down so much I don't have to even see the damn movie.
I'll save y'all 3 hours on that. That's exactly what that
3 freaking hours.
If you both one movie's longer than the other. The second movie's long. Like the first movie is almost 3 hours, and the second movie is about 3 hours 30 minutes.
For that?
Yeah.
I couldn't sit there that long.
No.
Yep.
No.
So on that note, let's get into reboot nerd news, y'all.
Woo.
All right, let's go.
All right. So first thing on the docket, Attack on Titan. Let's talk about these jokes. So they have just announced that in March they're finally dropping Attack on Titan. But here's the jokes again, people. This is Attack on Titan, the final season. Part
Are you
3,
sure?
Core 1.
Maybe.
Of 2. This is the fucking jokes. I've had these jokes for the longest time, but they say final season.
We're serious this time.
This is the third season. This is the third part of the final season, and they dividing it. They're seemingly, because there was another news report that says they might not be dividing it into 2 cores. It might be for like a special, like an extra special 2 episodes or something like that. All I know is that's annoying as hell to divide shit up. Okay, put in retrospect, guys. They only have 9 chapters left in the entire series to animate. Now, if you don't know how cores set up, cores is usually 12 episodes divided up. So it's like like 12 episodes for one core and 12 episodes for another core. So in all, it's supposed to be 24 episodes. They're trying to stretch out 9 chapters for ideally 24 more episodes. Now, if that don't sound like milking, I don't know what.
Yeah, this sounds like Walking Dead levels of what the fuck.
This is such a joke. If you have a final season, why the hell are we in part 3 of the final season? And part 3 is divided into core 1 and core 2. They had posters. They had multiple posters to show each shift. Guys, you're dragging it. Y'all should have just give us a movie and call it a day. 2 movies. Call it a day. Y'all dragging it.
That would have actually been a lot smarter.
I thought that. They have 9 chapters left. Y'all gonna drag this for 24 episodes is insane. And now they're retroactively like saying, nah, it's not gonna be that the way. Even if they stretched it out for 12 episodes, where they said 2 of the episodes are gonna be like a special, like long episode, y'all got 9 chapters. Y'all gonna drag this shit out to the moon at this point. If this shit ain't, if they saying this from a manga fan perspective, if they go to manga route, they're gonna disappoint. If they go by the anime, if they concoct like an anime only special shit like that, they gotta cook up something that's gonna satisfy people, because people are joking and they super annoyed. The jokes are flowing by, and y'all, this is only your fault at this point. Y'all divided the final season by a multiple, and y'all trying to milk the shit out of everything y'all got. Like, y'all wildin'. Y'all obviously wildin'. And it's funny for Mappa to do this, because Mappa got like 37 animes on the book. So you think they want to finish this and move on with their life?
You think so? You think it's money? Somebody cutting a big check or something?
No, it's gotta be something. Somebody cutting some check. But they got all the checks coming in, because obviously they starting up all the fucking anime. Mappa doing too much.
Right, finish this up and move on.
Yeah, they're dragging it, and see the way how you're dragging it, that obviously proves that y'all gotta have the top. The more y'all dragging it, the more top tier everything has to be. So if even one thing looks out of place, niggas is gonna violate you because y'all dragged this shit out for too long. I got mad people working on shit, and then the worst part about it is Mappa's so divided to do so many things that you feel like the longer this goes, the more people are gonna either get removed from the project, put onto the project, get thrown off. Things are gonna get thrown off. Niggas is gonna complain about shit all the time. Like, if things look out of place for like 5 seconds, Twitter loses their fucking mind. So them throwing this shit, bro, we watched all of Bleach, and Bleach looked beautiful, and niggas were still complaining. So like,
True.
yo, if this is a situation where shit goes array, like they're gonna have a big mess on. That's all. Attack on Titan has fallen into their own joke pretty. That's how all of.
Right, just finish it up, animate how it's supposed to end, and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, it got so much shit to work on. Just keep pushing, guys. Especially if y'all just they go in the midst of all this, they're gonna announce more shit that they work on, and that's everybody gonna be tired, bro. Let niggas go home. All right, so on the second docket, yo, Pedro Pascal is having a time. My son is in his bag. So they dropped the trailer for the new Mandalorian. Mandalorian dropping in March as well. Pedro Pascal is in the money. He got The Last of Us coming out right now, where he's, you know, a dad trying to take care of shit in the apocalypse. And then on Star Wars, he's a dad trying to handle shit in the Star Wars universe. Pedro Pascal is in the money. He's dad mode one way, he's dad mode another way. He's owning HBO Max, he's owning Disney Plus. Pedro Pascal is in the money, and I appreciate it.
Oh, he's making bank.
Yo, yeah, he doing his thing.
Making bank.
Big vibes, and I love Mando. So bring on the Mando. This is definitely the way. Bring back the Mando, and more Mandos to come. It's fire out here, y'all.
Yeah, good job, Pedro. Keep the good shit coming.
Yeah, keep going. Good for him.
I appreciate all the shit he goes. So keep coming with that shit. So next on the docket, they just dropped the trailer for the Netflix special dropping in April. We got Power Rangers Once and Always. Have you guys seen the teaser trailer? That shit looking beautiful. I noticed something in the trailer I wanna talk about.
I wanna hear it.
But before all that, have you guys seen the teaser?
I've seen pictures. I have not seen the trailer. I've just seen pictures.
It is a beautiful teaser with Walter and Billy and all of them talking and stuff like that. They appreciate it come back. I didn't know the way how they announced this. I didn't know it was like special, if they wanted to do it like part of the already show, the Cosmic Fury that was coming up, or if it was its own thing, because everything is coming. All the Power Ranger stuff is going on there. So I didn't know if it was like
that's so cool.
But for it to be its own separate thing, that's cool. I don't know what they have in mind. It looks like it's gonna go between like a documentary to its own kind of special episode or something. What they're doing with it. So altogether, that's cool stuff. But co-host, have you seen the teaser? Have you seen the teaser?
I've seen pieces of the teaser. I gotta watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, they brought back Billy, they brought back Zach.
And then they got Catherine in it and Steven in it, because, I mean, okay, so
there we go.
It Amy Jo was on Twitter and she said that they asked her. She said no, but she wanted to do other properties. But yeah, she brightened up the controversy on that because obviously you would have think they would have gotten the OG Pink Ranger and stuff like that, and not they got secondary people for this. That is like, I mean, Cat is big important for like later seasons and stuff like that. But it's like if they don't get Amy Jo, obviously it's gonna be for contention because Amy ain't caught up in controversy like our resident ASJ.
Oh, you mean PPP Red?
Yeah. PPP Red is it. I mean, it's obvious reason why he's out.
Right.
And then they specifically picked the group. So this is what I wanted to point it out. There's obviously something they're cooking up with the Green Ranger part of that teaser because the Green Ranger is there, not the White Ranger. They picked the Green Ranger for this, and the Green Ranger is outfitted with extra stuff. There's a point in the teaser where the helmet is slowly coming off of the Green Ranger, and they're like building up to that shit. So that in my mind tells me they have something in that episode is gonna be like a big tribute to JDF for sure. Because like the way how they made it in the teaser, they made it specific that when they're literally taking off the Green Ranger helmet, they're not showing a bit of who the hell's under that or anything of that. They're not even saying JDF through the teaser, and you obviously know they have to. So like something big is already like set up to the side of that, but they make no mention or not even a snippet of JDF.
That's how they get you.
They just slowly usher in that teaser where the Green Ranger is specifically taking off his helmet, and you're like, all right, they're doing something.
And there's also too, it sounds like it's a callback to when Tommy did that when he was the White Ranger and he slowly took off his helmet and stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, there's little things, you know, we watch all these YouTube things and they say that's an Easter egg for that. So I just wanted to throw my little that's an Easter egg for that. But that is really cool hearing that because that do sound like there's gonna do something for JDF.
That and Trini too, because they didn't mention Trini, but they have somebody they picked out
the daughter.
They picked out and they want to introduce her daughter, and there was a part in the teaser as well where they show her power coin off. So they're obviously they put little things that prove that there's something they're cooking up in this teaser trailer that has like mad representation for X, Y, and Z that they're cooking up here and there. Yeah, because they didn't make mention of the Yellow Ranger at all, but the Yellow Ranger in there. So obviously somebody's under there.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to see what they come up with.
Yeah, especially I don't know how long this they're trying to do this. I don't know how they want to piece this together, if documentary / episode or what they want to do in special. But for Netflix to give it its own thing, it's nice.
That's for us 90s kids.
Yeah, like specifically on this because Johnny Young Bosch is back, and it's nice to have the two Black Rangers working together because they said they never like really worked together right there. And there's some Rangers that got to work together. Like I think Walter and Steven both said that this is the first time they're obviously working together because they were at different seasons of the show. So
that's right.
Yeah, they pointed out that a lot of this is their first time working together. Aisha is back and stuff like that. They're in different interesting fits, specifically like Aisha and Johnny Young Bosch. Which I mean, in respect to Johnny Young Bosch this year, I'm gonna throw this out there. He is having the year of a lifetime. He gets the dub of Ichigo. He's back as a voice actor for Ichigo. He's getting that Bleach money. He's back as the dub voice for Vast Stampede in the Trigun reboot. So he's getting money there. And the Power Rangers, he's coming back. So he in the money. So Money Young Bosch is popping in these streets.
Money Young Bosch. I like
it. He getting all the money.
MYB.
Right, MYB.
MYB.
Yeah,
baby.
I like that, y'all. I like
MYB.
That. So I fuck with that. But him and Aisha in the teaser, they're wearing specific outfits that say SPA. So I don't know if that's supposed to lead off into SPD territory. Maybe this is the early rankings of SPD.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, in the teaser, they was wearing those outfits and everybody started saying SPA. That sounds interesting. Maybe they're in the early edition because they said this is supposed to take editions of the year around, I think 2025 and stuff like that. So maybe they might usher in the SPD early day. I mean,
I'm here for it.
I
know you're here for it, co-host.
That's right. You know I rock with SPD.
He appreciates Space 12. This is probably Space 6. Origins of Space 12 with Space 6.
Wonder if we'll get an Alpha 6 appearance.
Ooh.
There's an Alpha in there. I don't think it's Alpha 6. I think today is not the day where they try and appropriate.
Oh my god.
I don't think they want a backlash on this shit already.
No.
So I don't think that motherfucker gonna be in there.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be good. But yeah, great. That's that for. So I just recommend y'all check out teaser for the full thing to check out that little Easter egg, and then y'all put it to your test if I'm bucking it with that Green Rain thing, because I think
I gotta take a look at this. This is intriguing.
They definitely cooking, and that's dropping in April, so that's possible.
Nice.
Oh, April, right? Not far away. Good stuff.
So one of my things is definitely so I wanted to talk about this real quick, but The Last of Us success. So The Last of Us series has dropped on HBO Max, and once again it blew HBO Max out of proportions. Once again, the series is fire, as everybody has seen for the first episode. Now, personally, I've never played the video game. It's another apocalyptic show and stuff like that, zombies and stuff like that. But it's taken, everybody likes it by storm. I've seen the first episode. I like the first episode. It details stuff in a spooky ass way, and the beginning, a couple minutes of it spooks the life out of you after a pandemic. They talk about a future pandemic in mind that might fuck us up even further. So that spooks us out. that spooks the show.
That was too relatable.
That was way fucking relatable. That was probably the scariest thing in the whole fucking show. Talking about fungus and shit like that. That was scary as hell. But
I hope they introduced the clickers.
Yeah. They gonna violate with that shit later. But that shit, so far, everybody's loving it. It's 1v1 to the video game. It's looking extra fire. It blew HBO Max out of proportion because it said it was the second biggest everybody was watching on that shit, next to Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, which was number one.
Those are some good titles to be next to.
Exactly, your numbers is big ups. So all the marketing and everything works. So it's pop. It's nice when the marketing is popping and the show is popping. Like everything is on par with each other. So everything's worth the love. Everybody's loving it. So it's a big success so far. And it only gets popular.
Now, someone that's played the games,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yeah, big recommendation, because I honestly don't know what the fuck's going on. I just know about the apocalypse element to that shit. I seen in the trailer that the clickers is down packed. They got them look beautiful, as other people who play the game have said, and everything is looking real close 1v1 to like a lot of shit that's going on. So I feel like you, as a person who played it, co-host, you're gonna get a fire kick out of it. So when you watch, you need to let me know how fire this shit is looking. A lot of people saying this shit muy perfecto, especially taking shit from a video game going into live action. They said this shit is perfection.
Oh yeah, I definitely will, and this might have that cyberpunk effect and might get people to jump back 100%. In the game.
100%. I think whoever ain't played the game, a lot of people talking about who played the game who's gonna hop into it. So this ain't gonna have the stink on it like Uncharted.
Oh man.
Ooh.
And it's funny because it's in the same universe, kind of in a perspective, because this is under the Sony banner, because Sony is having their hands in like producing TV shows and movies and shit like that. Like when you start up show, Sony's logo shows up into that shit. Just like how when we went to go see the Uncharted movie, how the Sony logo popped up and the Uncharted movie was boo boo.
I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the opposite. This is Sony slapping their name on it where the shit is good.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So we go on that. All right, following up. This is some news that got me hyped. I don't know what they're gonna do with this news going forward, but this is fire. So Duck Dodgers in 2023, the whole series is getting a Blu-ray release. They releasing some HD quality Duck Dodgers, and I'm hyped this shit. I am happy about this shit. I don't know where the hell they go put Duck Dodgers in HD out over there, but they have physical copies of shit. I'm thinking twice about buying this shit. I don't know. HBO Max is acting up, deleting all their old shit, so I don't know. If people want to appreciate their shit, they need to hold on tight to
yes.
They either need to pirate that shit or have physical copies. And I love Duck Dodgers. That shit is on the list of we about to come back to that shit in Comfy Couch one day.
Yeah,
that shit is fire. And I don't know, maybe when people release like updated news or shit, they always got something cooking in the background. I don't know what they cooking with Duck Dodgers, but this announcement got me thinking that they cooking something. You know, if they re-release something, that means they have something cooking on the horizon. So I don't know what they cooking with Duck Dodgers, but I feel like something's cooking in the background.
And technically, isn't Duck Dodgers from this century?
Yes. So there you go. So I mean, they got to be cooking with something. Just like Space 12 and all this shit, we've hit that future point. We at that in the year range.
Yeah, because the Jetsons happened in 2001.
Well, there you go.
Was it?
I think so. I think they were supposed to be from 2001. We still ain't got no flying cars. That
is very upsetting.
I mean, think of Back to the Future. They've talked about this years. All this maneuver and shit like that. When they talked about all them years ago, going all the way into the future time of here. I mean, shit is night and day.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say, and they also lied to us, but you're right.
Exactly. So
yeah, they're very, very much so.
There you go. So I just want to see what they cooking up with this Blu-ray Duck Dodgers. But a re-release of Duck Dodgers getting more love. I'm always appreciate that from Rip Show.
I stand corrected. So technically, George Jetson would have been born last year. So we got about 40 more years to go, people.
I mean, the mere fact that we've hit the point that George Jetson gets born, futuristic boy. So I mean, obviously that started cook something.
So that's interesting. All right, so we got Jack. We got like 40 years for them flying cars.
I can't wait. I'll be in the sky.
Then. We'll see that by then.
Air Uber.
Air Uber.
Sky Uber. Yeah, that's
Uber. That's right.
Yep. So on the next docket, did you guys hear that they discontinued Sierra Mist?
What? I did. Yeah, that was random. Yeah.
Yeah. So
wow.
It was news reported out that they discontinued Sierra Mist this year, and they're switching it up. They no longer selling out Sierra Mist, and they put in a new drink called Starry. So anything Sierra Mist product has been changed to Starry, which has a graphic of it's pretty much like on a graphic it's a lemon lime. Like like at the top part it's like a lemon, and at the bottom part it's lime, stuff like that. It looks like mediocre in its marketing and the way how the image look. Like graphic design look.
Yeah, that's usually what they do. They change things up and don't even have a really good idea. Like I wasn't even a big Sierra Mist drinker and stuff like that. But even still, you just like, oh, Sierra Mist, and then they're
Sierra
like,
Mist always felt like the poor man's Sprite.
It was the poor man's Sprite. It really was. It was like, so you have top shelf, bottom shelf.
Yeah.
It had no shelf.
Yeah, and now the Starry drink and the Starry outlook and all that shit. It looked like even bottom tier than that. It looked like in the bootleg shelf.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yep.
And I want to know why too. Like, and maybe it's not even a big deal. Like, what made them even want to
take it? I
think
think it's a marketing thing. They was like tired of Sierra Mist, gonna change it up.
I'm tired of it.
That looks even more mid. So
they probably said this is so outdated. What do you got? This.
Pretty exactly.
Right. Keep it on that topic of the little snack stuff. So we ate some chickens because the price of these eggs is ridiculous.
Oh boy, yo, inflation wild out. I see eggs TikToking everywhere that they a carton of egg was like $10, and niggas is stealing eggs, and they selling 3-pack of eggs for like $3.50 on the market. Yo, like it's funny.
You got the spider wire in the eggs.
It's funny and sad at the same time. It's ridiculous.
Mad jokes, man. Niggas who own chickens is hyped right.
Listen, I went.
They all hyped.
Yo, they like, oh, we about to get some bread.
Oh, big fact.
This actually kind of makes me sad now because like I saw some chickens like 2-3 years ago crossing the street on my by my house, and I'm like, I know I wasn't, but you know what it is? Not that I play a lot of Legends of Zelda, but I know enough to know that if you mess with them, they just...
please.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of my first video game heart attacks as a child. I played Legend of Zelda on the Game Boy Color, and I never knew the history of cutting chicken. I cut that one chicken, and boy, that nigga chased me all through. Yo, I didn't know how far.
I think we've all done that.
Yo, them chickens got vengeance. I was so traumatized as a kid. I ran away from the chickens, and them niggas ran up on me in the house.
They was not playing. They was like, it's on site.
And they're a lot worse than Super Smash Brothers. Because,
please.
Yeah, they just like one of them spiked me. I said, yeah, that's why the Colonel is your like rival, you bitch.
Fact.
It's so funny, Jack. You know your borough is known for the animals running wild. So
damn.
Well, damn. Like, what are you trying to get at, man?
Listen. When you see the news and you see a wild cow or a horse, you already know what borough it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Wait, hold on. Wait. No. We're not gonna soil Queens like that. We don't just have. No, we do have horses. I'm not gonna lie, we do. What was the other animal you said we have?
So I've seen news: a horse, a random cow.
Okay, the only time we see cows is if you go into McDonald's or Burger King. Like, there's no such thing as a cow randomly walking around here. For a moment, I said, "Where do you think I live at? Alabama? Like, what are you talking about?"
Listen, Queens is a unique place.
Queens is different. Admittedly, Queens is different. I can admit that.
He said we built different.
We are built different. Like,
they really are.
No, there are. It's just random creatures. Like, we have possums out here. Like, why do we have you here?
Like we here. Like we was here first.
Well, that's true.
And did you guys also see that they putting spider wire on eggs too?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
They got to unlock the egg. You get the eggs. That shit even wilder.
You go in there, they wear the eggs, they're in the back.
That's so wild. That's so wild.
That
you
is
gotta have
so
somebody
wild.
unlock the egg. That's the time we living in. That's the future time. That's the shit that they didn't tell y'all about.
I would have never expected that, because when you said that, because at first I didn't get what you meant, and then when you said that, I'm like, oh, it's like when you go to those stores.
Yep, just like that, Jack.
Yeah, you get oatmeal. I'm sorry, deodorant or mouthwash, because people were stealing those things, but they locked those things. Now they're locking eggs. So
that's how wild it's gotten. Or when they have that shit on clothes, where if you try to unlock that shit, use the ink.
That's great.
Yep.
That's so tremendous.
Gotten that crazy.
This disgusting.
But yeah, on that, we still got. So I seen this right before we went on. They had announced that they're doing Tiny Toon Universe. So that's the next one on Reebok. They got Tiny Toons coming. They working on Tiny Toons dropping. And then as we talk about Tiny Toons coming back, they just ran Animaniacs trailer for their final season because
that's it.
They lost their rights. Hulu lost their rights, shit like that. Everything's gone. So Animaniacs is getting canceled again.
No, so then they're kind of accustomed to it, so they know what to do. Just be back in the water tower.
The trailer already joked about it. The team wasn't even expecting it, so they had to go back to the studio and cook up a cup. They had to cook up another episode to end it all in general. But in the trailer, they've already made jokes. They were like, "We just came back. What do you mean we're canceled?"
I love it.
So they already understand where they point out.
Yeah, they're like this deja vu all over again. Like, here we go.
Yep. And the last news on the docket is DC. DC and Ezra Miller situation annoying the hell out of me constantly. Did you hear that? Did you guys get to hear that he avoided jail time for one of his accusations already?
I
heard some noise about this. Some about I don't know.
He's starting to get away with it, y'all.
Starting
to get away with it, and it's ridiculous. This is the biggest white privilege ever. We talked about when DC was actually they were sitting around at that fucking table, and they said, you know what, we might bring it back. Worst idea ever. And then this nigga's already escaping jail time for already situations. You're like,
how is he getting away? Well, I was gonna ask, how is he getting away with it?
This man is running amok for almost 2 years with like multiple accusations, situations that niggas already said have happened, and they let it build to this point. Nobody stopped, and then it was situation after situation, and they gonna let this nigga fly, and it's starting to bust down. His case is starting to slowly taken out. This is already becoming a big. This nigga gets off scot free, and they decide, hey, he's already innocent. It's okay. Bring it back for further move. You already fucked up this new reboot.
Yep.
I was saying for the longest time, I said this man is not even worth the trouble. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I don't even know why the fuck they keep him.
They have dusted niggas for less because they're not a part of the scheme, but they are trying tooth and nail for them to hold on to this fucking Flash. Like this is gonna be better than Endgame, Infinity War. It's this Flash movie is so good that's got to be better than anything that's ever hit TV or movie ever. They treating this shit like this shit about to make money like
and I just don't understand.
I don't either. I don't. Niggas don't like Flash this much.
Right, otherwise this TV show would still be running.
Well, to be fair with that show had quite the run, no pun intended.
It did.
I really liked Black Lightning. So when the fact that it had 4 seasons and Flash had 9,
Listen, right there we can talk points about that.
Listen, yo, I gotta finish Black Lightning, yo, but Tobias, yo, the way
Tobias is no joke. I love
Tobias and Uncle Russ right
there. Yo, for real.
They are one the same. Yeah.
Yes.
No, they really are. Because he just straight up don't like black people.
I
forgot my man's name, Lala. He even says, "Damn, boss, you really don't like black people." I was like, "Yeah, Lala, and you work for him, dumbass."
Listen, that albino motherfucker is some of the shit saying outrageous.
No, he does. He really does. No,
go. No, I was like, yo, I'm just thinking about some of the quotes that he be saying. I'm just like, bruh.
Oh yeah, he wild. I love the sound of it.
Oh, it's so great. It's beautiful, and it's a great combination too, if I can say, of like old school and today.
Oh,
so it's that nice. That's what I love about it.
The people they bring on that show is high value shit.
Yes.
Like people that haven't been respected years, shit like that come to the forefront.
Yes,
beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I concur.
Love that. So, but all right, so that's closing up on Nerd and Reap. That's it for everything. Unless you guys have anything on the docket.
I mean, I have nothing. I mean, the Tiny Toons. I love that growing up. I'm always concerned. I'm always concerned when they bring back something from the 90s because I just feel like that stuff is something for the like. I'm pretty sure you guys heard years ago when they were talking about, hey, we might bring back Martin. You're like, hey, how about not? How about you leave that in the 90s? So I always get concerned. I always get concerned about those things. But I did like, and I wasn't even the biggest fan of Animaniacs back in the day. But when they brought him back, I'm trying to think 2020, right? Yeah. I remember watching the series and I said, this is pretty damn funny. Very funny.
I like it, but the only thing that's missing is I feel like the main problem with it is that I don't think they got the rights to the cavalcade of characters that they had. So they're missing a lot of the old, because we did an episode that's in the vault for the Animaniacs that touched base on the old series and the new series, and they're missing the cavalcade of characters that came attached to it. They only got in right the Animaniacs, the main crew, but they didn't get the rights of all their cast and characters. Right. So that kind of feels like a big elephant in the room that's missing.
And that is an interesting interesting point because when they brought back Animaniacs, they brought that and Pinky and the Brain, but they didn't bring back. I forgot the other characters, but the dog, Slappy Squirrel. Yes, right. The Goodfellas. Yes, all that kind of stuff.
Caught up in rights.
They even had to change that whole theme, which is a banger.
Yeah. Ooh, I was mad about it.
Listen, I've talked about this, and video games go through this whole way. There's a problem with stuff that gets brought to the forefront of HD collections, of remake, other things, because shit happened. There's a reason that video game was made for that time and that era that affects it when you go to HD collect. Like, all right, let's talk about this in the forefront in the video game aspect. Now, we have a video game in Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth and like a wrestling aspect of the video games of class. The reason why some of that can be remade in today's era, they can remake some stuff, but they're obviously gonna leave out some shit that's gonna make people annoyed off rip. Like, let's say they remake Here Comes the Pain with like a more HD aesthetic and stuff like that. What about some of the soundtracks that you liked in?
Oh, that's not gonna be in there.
That's not gonna be in there. There's a big. I will stand part of this. If you play Budokai, like if you play Budokai 1 and 3, there's an HD collection that was updated for I think the PS3 or the PS4 that came out like a couple of years ago that will not stand up to the old versions only due to the fact that the soundtrack isn't the same and it throws off the flow of the video game.
I can get that. Yep.
Because over the years that the guy who did the soundtrack was found out to be a fraud because he took pieces of famous soundtrack and they found out that he was ripping off famous soundtracks. So they had to cut all his music out, and that throws off the flow of the video game. The soundtracks that you liked back in the day that hyped up the video game, they had to change it up, and it's a different feel to the video game altogether. The HD is popping and shit like that, but the soundtracks ain't the same, and it throws off the video game. Like, shit was made for a certain time because niggas get in trouble. Niggas get in trouble all the time.
And I think it was you guys, Jack, that touched on that point in regards to the Sonic games and the soundtrack.
So, and Sonic, they made Sonic Origin, right? And I didn't notice this until someone pointed out. Yeah. But in Sonic 3, a lot of track, Michael Jackson has something to do with it. So if you go to Carnival Zone,
there's a TikTok on it.
Yep, and they take out the music, and it's not the same. Like, you hear it, and I even sat here because I love Sonic the Hedgehog music. I mean, that's the majority of my tracks on my phone. But I was sitting there going like, well,
this ain't right.
Yeah, it ain't totally not right. It's like pretty much unseasoned chicken, and that's not cool.
Bro, when you get into rights, details, all this shit,
ain't that something?
Like,
right?
it's gonna fuck up a lot of shit. Hell, like, once again, what we talked about with the HD collections and shit like that, about like Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain, there's a lot of shit that they probably can't bring back due to rights and all this stuff that comes with these characters that they can't update. Like, let's put the elephant in the room. Sure. There's one character that obviously can't bring back, and
they wouldn't
dare.
HD
collection. Let's talk about the Benoit in the situation.
They wouldn't bring him.
Obviously not gonna put him in the HD collection, guys. It's not, and there's gonna be a subsection of people that point about that, and there's gonna be there's gonna be people who's like, we really understand why you can't do that, but I mean, it's not gonna be the same.
And also too, when you were talking about the music, and I was thinking about that because Here Comes the Pain. I remember at that time Edge had Rob Zombie, and that's not gonna be on there.
The music's gonna be completely different.
Yeah,
they do that in the current games though, with certain superstars entrances.
Exactly.
So, and I was like, what the heck is? I was like,
it goes off the motion, or you're like that. Hell, they do that for if you check the network and shit like that. You like, this is not the song. This is not the song. You know exactly what the time and you was living in. He was like, this ain't the song.
I remember I was watching the network one time. This was some years back, and Hogan came out, and I remember he had the Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Doll, and they had something, and you could still hear it underneath. You could tell that it was obviously music playing over. And I remember thinking, because I was like, I watched WCW as a kid. That was my jam. I know it gets shitted on now, but whatever. It was my jam at the time. And when I was listening to it, I said, "Don't lie to me. Do not lie to me. Do not lie to me." But I understand.
Sometimes the editing is so bad because they cut out the entire crowd, and then you hear the music shift, and you're like, "Guys, this is bad. This is really bad."
You guys get paid to be a professional. Like, how dare you? Like, this is mediocre work. What are you guys doing?
Hell, even if we're talking about rights of some shit, I bet you some outfits won't even be allowed to be updated because they don't have the rights for certain logos.
Right. Well, I remember like Randy Orton. I mean, I think the tattoo artist sued.
That too. Shit,
that was wild.
That was a Pandora's box can of worms too.
Because you don't know what by the next by 2K23 you could see a lot of niggas coming out with cut off tattoos and shit. She gonna look extra funny.
Right.
That can affect a lot of games and media and stuff like that. So that one one was like, I was like, oh boy.
This goes back to what I'm gonna say again. Shit was made for a specific time.
I agree.
And the fields was popping, and then if you remake and redo shit like that, things are gonna have to be left off because either people are trash, shit happens, shit gets messed up, shit gets mixed up. Like, bruh, there's a reason shit was made for a time.
Oh, I agree.
I know niggas is fandoms and people want to be brought back, shit like that. Shit happens. Shit happens.
I would say on the network, the one that really grinds my gears because I just hear it automatically, it's Flair's music.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they play his music, they got some remix version up there, and it sounds horrible. And every time like I watch a Flair match from like the early 2000s going into it's just, I was like, ugh.
And I think it irks us because we knew what the music was at the time. Because DDP,
it's the same vibe for these video games.
Yep. No, I concur.
Especially if you go through that shit as childhood and you know exactly what music hit at this point. You're like, nah. Especially when they switch it up for something mid. You like, this kills the vibe.
And I think that's the main thing. It's not so much that it changed the music. It's wow, you changed it for something that sucked. Yeah. And I know it's because generic. Generic. Because I totally get that because we all play video games and there's a track you might hear. You're like, oh, that shit hitting. That shit hitting. Then you go back to this game or this HD, this remake, and you're like, yo, guys, did you guys try? Did you guys try to make this like a banger? I don't know.
Hell, us as wrestling fans is going through that shit right now. Look at all the look at all the themes that started getting flipped up.
Shayna Baszler.
No, seriously. Johnny Gargano. Now his shit was fire. Now I will admit, I might be on the hill on this by myself, and that's fine because I'll just heat a chili dog right there. But the theme, his current theme, is not bad. I've grown to kind of like it. But his original one, that was such a babyface theme. Like when you hear it, you're like, yeah, I just want to do right and take over evil or stuff like that. Yeah. So I hate that the stuff, the rights and all that stuff, and when people, it really just messes up a lot of things, man.
I think the last people that left that has the CFO money sign theme, I think it is between Bianca and AJ Styles. They're the last people who have theirs.
I was gonna ask what is Nakamura because he got his theme, I think, still and right Nakamura, and Nakamura. But good on Bianca.
They went back to the old version, so yeah, they still got. So I think those are like the last.
And I'll end it with this though. Here, like they should not touch Bianca's because that is her jam. Yeah. Let's not
leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
I swear to God, if she come out with some techno boo boo shit, oh boy, I'm gonna get hurt.
Yeah, certain people like Austin had his theme with the exception of that like 2001 when he had Disturb and he kind of switched it, but had his theme for the most part for the majority of his career, and it's so iconic. So
they switched it back for a reason.
They did. I did like Disturb though.
I like the Disturb theme. I'm not gonna hold you at all.
I loved the Disturb.
Oh, in video games for my custom character, I had the Disturb theme.
Oh, good taste. But that glass shadow and whatever, it was so iconic. So my point is, this could be what I think that how Bianca's theme could be that for her, where it's like iconic for her.
Yeah, I'm like, don't Victoria her.
I love. I'm sorry, I know we're talking Russell, but all the things she said, yeah, I love it. I love that.
Oh yeah, I love that song in general.
Oh, that song was so great. Absolutely.
Yeah, because when they switched her from that to whatever she had after that,
I ain't the lady to mess with.
Ooh. And they had like two versions of that shit. They had the quick version, and then they had the remix.
Oh yeah, there was the baby face, and then the slow one was the hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they started rapping on that shit.
Yeah. That's great.
Throw it in the trash.
But yeah, so now that all the reboot news and nerd news is closed up, now everybody, it's time for the main event. The main event segment of the evening with our guest BadGuy Jack. We're gonna get into it. Sonic Prime, y'all. We in that comfy couch. Episode 1 and 2. We gonna kick it to some ass facts. Let's get into it. All right. So some history off this and off rip, and anybody else got some fast facts, y'all can jump into this as well. But this was dropped to us on the Netflix banner December 15, 2022. This is so far they have announced that this is the first core that we've gotten is the 8 episodes out of, in general they said we're supposed to get 24 episodes. So the first core has dropped out, and as of right now they just made, like right before we recorded this yesterday, as Jack has brought this to attention, they just dropped news that they're ready to drop the second batch coming out. So I guess we got like 8 more episodes coming out sometime. They didn't give us like a date range or whatever dropping, but we're gonna get the next 8 episodes coming out. But first core is out now. The first 8 episodes is out. So this is an American TV series based off the famous video game series based on the Sonic Hedgehog series in general. This is the 6th animated TV series franchise franchise, created as a collaboration under the Netflix, Wild Brain Studios, Man of Action Studios, Sega Sammy Group, and Marza Animation Planet. So all of this is a collaboration of like many animation studios come together. And just like I said, season 2 or like Core 2 has been announced to drop. And this is kind of like Netflix's thing on animation. They'll drop like a few episodes and then they'll sprinkle out throughout the years to like spread it out, people to get hyped about. And this is how they like cook up, like engage up. It's not a bad model. I like the little sprinkling stuff like that and what they leave us. So that's kind of the fast facts that I have. You guys have any fast facts on?
No, I think you nailed everything and right on point.
Right, you got it covered good.
Yeah, right, you did a great job.
All right, so we can step into episode 1, Shattered.
All right, so we start this episode with the classic Netflix logo.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we see Green Hill.
Yep.
Makes me want to play the game. I'm just saying when I saw it.
Oh yeah, no, right off the vibes, they definitely go well and strike the balance to a show meets video game where you kind of like you definitely in the vibe that you're like, damn, I want to really play. Like right after I seen the show, I'm hopping back into the new Sonic game for sure.
Oh my god, yep.
Yo, and then we see this Blur. We see Rings, and then we see this Blur, right? And then we see Big, we see Froggy, we still see this Bluebird, and eventually we get our intro to Sonic.
Yeah, and he runs back Big and Froggy.
Right? Then we see Sonic running, just doing normal Sonic. We see Amy, we see Tails, and Sonic is giving us a little dialogue. We see some chili dogs.
Yeah, Sonic describes the area, the enemy, his anti-friends, aka Shadow, and enjoyments.
Right, and we also see Knuckles, and then we see, Eggman.
I mean, it wouldn't be a show without Eggman. I mean,
of course.
He really has to be there.
That's numero uno. That's like
I mean, who else? I was gonna say, who else is gonna cause all this kind of havoc?
True, you're right.
Gotta be some form.
And then we see Shadow and Root, right? Mm-hmm. So at this point, we see Sonic pull up, and they're about to get in a battle with Eggman. We see the Paradox Prism, which we'll get into later.
Yep, Sonic talking about never losing, but he ends up late to the party.
Right? See Eggman talking about his dastardly plan.
Trying to claim on that Paradox.
Right? And Sonic is like, oh, he's like, yeah, I yawned for you, Eggman.
Talk shit already.
The trash talking here was phenomenal. That's one of the reasons why I even love Sonic. I mean, just nailed it. Don't be, go ahead. That's Sonic.
Right? It would be Sonic without trash talking. I'm just saying.
Big time. He's right there with Spider-Man.
And then we get into the battle, and the animation here, I love it.
Oh,
the visual was amazing.
This series I already feel is a love letter video game strongly that I don't think have throughout like many of the different series. This one definitely blatantly looks like a collaborative effort of all these 6 studios to be like, I want a show that feels like this.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was like, it's like the tech was finally there for them to do it right.
Yeah.
And I also think too, one of the things I really liked about this series was, I mean, I've watched a bunch of Sonic cartoons, but I love because something that they don't do is like him collecting rings. Yeah. So I don't know. I like when I saw that, I said that's interesting.
Bro,
right
that first thing where he got hit and the rings came out, I was like, this is you. I don't even remember them doing this other than like maybe a joke or somewhere and like maybe Sonic Boom or something like that. But like this is the heart of the video game right there.
Yes.
Like they captured it perfectly.
Yeah.
And the next Sonic game, I want it to look just like this.
Make a Sonic Prime game.
Right? I want it to look just like this.
I mean, Netflix is in the bank for like they're doing Netflix 8. How the fuck did they not collaborate a game out of this one? I don't know.
Give them time. They're probably cooking something in the.
6 studios and not one to think of a video game out of this. Yeah, they got to be cooking.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely cooking something. So Sonic is fighting. He's running. Eggman's trying to pull out the Paradox Prism. Sonic go ahead and jumps into the prism. Tails like, yo, stop! And Tails like, Sonic! Everybody like, Sonic, no! And Sonic shatters the prism.
I also like during the battle, as Sonic goes through and fights like all this, we get a characterization of each and every body. Like he's fighting like bit by bit, and it shows the characterization. Like he's fighting with Tails, and then Tails is showing off what he can. He's fighting with Knuckles, and Knuckles showing off what he can. Then he goes past Rouge, and Rouge something. Then he goes past Amy, and Amy's doing something. So you get like little snippets of if you go into this and you don't like this is your first time ever seeing anything Sonic, you get everybody.
That's a good point.
Right, so after he shatters the prism, we get the little thing talking about a Netflix series.
Yep, the little intro.
Right, and we get the Sonic Prime logo. HBO Max wish they had this, but they ain't got it.
Nope.
Missed your spot here, HBO.
So the next thing you know, we see Sonic floating in some kind of dimension, and we hear Eggman talking about, "Oh, I'm gonna get everything." And then we see from Tails, and then we see from Amy, and they're just giving info.
Yep.
And so we're like, we just see Sonic floating. We see his shoes was all electrified. He's just floating amongst these shattered crystal pieces, right? So so eventually he's hearing all of this. He thinks he's dreaming, and we hear Eggman talking about, "I will rule the world, and no rodents are going to stop me." Classic Eggman stuff,
Vintage,
right?
Yeah.
Right. And then next thing you know, Sonic starts to wake up, and we ain't in Green Hill no more.
Nope.
Oh, we're not? Oh no.
He can't click his heels and go home for this.
Oh man.
Right? So he looking around, and boy, she was all electrified. He looking around like, yo, where am I?
So right off the bat, in this situation, two things. One, he made a Sonic Boom joke. Like right off the, he was like, I'm in a big Sonic Boom. So right off that, I clocked that. And then second of all, when we go into this world, I'm already looking around. I'm saying this is giving me Spider-Man Unlimited vibe right off bat.
Ooh, okay.
He is in that Neo like horrific world, and as sorta as he flows through this, it's definitely giving me this is like the quips already feels like Spider-Man. Now as further as he goes off this, it definitely gives me Spider-Man.
That's interesting because you know what I got out of this one when I was watching it. He was in this new, what was it, New York City?
Yeah. Yep, New York City.
New York City, because they had to add an egg pun in there. It's a good job.
Yeah.
That's a good job. But it gave me the vibes of what Sonic Forces was supposed to be.
Because I 100% agree. Because there's a scene I can bring up early. Later in the episode, I'm definitely gonna bring it up.
Yes, because definitely, and I'm glad that you agreed to that.
I played Sonic Force a bunch,
and I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah,
I apologize.
No, I agree. No, I take it for a person who played Sonic games all through history and stuff like that. And playing Sonic Forces, that was definitely a big lift.
So I should play Sonic Forces?
No.
Oh,
let me real quick.
I'm a Shadow fan. That shit let me down big time.
Yeah, and they even gave Shadow his own little story. They gave him 3-4 stages, and they were like, "Yeah, that's enough."
That annoyed me no end, and that was DLC.
That was DLC. The game was supposed to be this great big love letter, and it really was a letdown. So
it's a Sonic game that steps up into character creation.
Yes,
it fell through on that too.
I'm not gonna lie. I made a rabbit, and I was so proud because I was like, I named him Jack the Rabbit, and I said yes.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was so proud. I'm trying to get that in with Sega for the IDW comic, Jack the Rabbit.
Okay.
Bad Guy Hop.
That's gonna be named his finisher, Bad Guy Hop.
So no Sonic Prime on Twitch, y'all.
Give it time. I'm too busy playing Sonic Frontiers and getting beat up on Twitch.
Same here, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, for the love of God, I just got to the second line.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
All right.
Listen, that game's something else. That shit's on large rate.
It's such a fun game, but that game will kick your ass.
Yeah, it will.
See, I need to get into that.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, so we back into the world.
Yeah.
So as Sonic is trying to figure out where he is, he gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And so he's like, yo, what happened? So he goes to pull up the truck, and he look at the truck. And so he starts to look around the city. He's like, yeah, I'm definitely not in Green Hill no more.
His shoes on.
Train almost hit him. He ducks, gets knocked off. Now he's on some little...
Escalator platform.
He wondering where he is. He on the escalator platform.
Bro,
he gets smacked around by the sweeper.
Bro, and when he gets to the platform, he tries to talk to people, and they ignored him. And I made a comment of this before they made the name of the city. I said, homie must be in New York the way they ignoring him. And then they said he's in New York City. I was like, yep, New York.
They was like, don't talk to me, blue tourist.
Facts. This is so New York. I was like, yeah,
that really is.
They're making a joke about this is New York City. It's just a full range of a whole bunch of...
Right, and then, he's like, I even take Shadow at this point. He's like, yo. And now he's asking the people, like, yo, can you let me know where this is? He's
I'm sorry, I was going to say, I love the spot where he sits there and says, are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring me?
Yeah.
And that's so relatable because I feel that way all the time. But go ahead.
Yeah, that part had me dying. I'm like, yo,
he's New York-esque way that man was minding his business. That man, Sonic was literally rubbing his face in his face.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't.
Yeah, he's like, you don't exist.
I'm just trying to get to work, sir.
he's like, go ask somebody else. I don't want to talk to you right now.
It's like when you see the crackhead on the train and he trying to talk to it, getting all up in your face, trying everything not to pay attention.
That's when you know you've been a New Yorker for so long. You just don't even look up at that point. No,
especially
you don't even
look
up.
Especially when the motherfucker's spazzing right near you.
Yep, you just like doing what you're doing. Like, oh.
Yep, don't touch me.
And so then Sonic looks up and he sees this banner saying, "Welcome to New York City. You're welcome." I'm like, bruh.
Well, dang.
And he's like, New York? He's like, I never heard of it. I must be far from home.
Pretty much.
He's like, there ain't no mountains, no beaches, no palm trees. And then he looks up, he looks to the side of him, he sees Big and Froggy. And this Big is like, nah, why you touching me, bro?
In fact, he ran up to them and they was acting weird. It looked weird.
And then the spotlight coming and the robots was like, unidentified citizen. Big is like, oh, shit. And all the robots and stuff come. Your Big is out. He's like, nah, not today, buddy.
He's trying to get the hell out of there.
Sounds like Big, don't leave Big. Like, nah, bruh.
Talking about it.
Right? And then now all the robots are surrounded by Sonic, and they're talking about, by orders of the Chaos Council. And Sonic is like, who that? And then so Sonic dipped. He's like, oh, I'm out. Nah, y'all not about to cook me. So he tries to run, and then he starts slipping and sliding in his shoes.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, what's going on? He's like, I'm not used to all these balls, and I'm over here doing, he banging into things. The robots are shooting lasers at him. He dash spins a couple of them.
He even says they don't have any they ain't got no.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And so they chasing him. He trying to run. He's slipping and sliding.
Yeah,
he got no rings.
He had no rings.
See the truck again. He was like, oh, not again, slide. And so Son is running. The robots are trying to hit him. Son is just out. Do. He's like, I gotta get up out of here. This ain't it. Yeah, so Son runs up a building, jumps on the trade. Robots are still chasing him, still shooting. This is like a fun level.
Yeah.
This is like a fun level I would play. I was like,
this is pretty much.
That's the thing about this show for sure. You could see how they cook up and like if this video game.
Like I said, they put this in a video game form, but they already got everything down packed. They just gotta get it.
This is like a really violent version of City Escape right about now.
I was gonna say, would you guys be interested in if this show was interactive? Like they play out the story too, but can play out these levels. Like if
I would be interested.
Absolutely.
They could get to the story part of this, and then they hit these parts, and then you can play these parts, and then they go further with you.
I would be interested.
Netflix has those interactive.
They do. I remember they did something with like New Day and Undertaker or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
an animated show that they do that was kind of like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
They did the same shit there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I would definitely be on board.
Yeah, that would be fun because then it has replay value because you have all these different choices and it's like, well, if I pick this, what happened here? If I pick this choice and the next, I would be down for that.
Right, as long as I get to smack up the Chaos Console, I'm happy.
Especially the old one.
No, it's that baby for me.
Yo, me and Carlos on the same level. I was about to
It's
say, fuck that baby.
That
baby. But we're going to get to that. We're going
to get to that. So at this point, Sonic, he sees a little piece of them putting together the building. So he slides under there, wait for all the robots to come in, and the building crushes them.
Oh, my gosh.
And then so we get a silhouette of somebody watching everything that's going on.
Yep.
And we have an idea of who it is, but we really don't know for sure yet.
Yeah.
So at this point, Sonic is starting to realize what happened, and he realizes that he's thinking initially that he was someplace different. Yeah. So then it kind of hits him. He goes up into the sky and starts looking around, and he's like, oh man. He was like, there's the loop. He was like, there's Hedgehog's Pass, and he was like, that should be Tails' lab. He's like, oh snap, this is Green Hill. Oh. And he started flashing back to what happened originally in Green Hill.
Yep.
Right, where he was fighting Eggman, the Eggman's machine. Yep. And he going doing normal Sonic stuff. Tails is like, bruh, stop. Sonic, he in full Hedgehog mode, so he not listening.
Yeah, he clowning a bit much.
Yep. And then next thing you know, they go and he drains the robot and it just drills the robot with a hedgehog spin and boom, explosion.
Yeah, big ass shit that way.
Big explosion.
Big ass
wave
explosion.
hits the whole island.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and right before that, he telling him Sonic, it's a trap. Stop.
He tried to tell him like 3 times.
Yeah. And that was weird. And a little bit that was kind of weird to me, right? So like I know Sonic is an arrogant, cocky character, but it just came off like he just doesn't listen. And I don't know, like for me at first I was like, why are we going in that direction? Because Tails clearly says it out loud.
Yeah.
And
I would agree with you, but they actually did something that I like that followed up with this after.
Sure. Yeah.
I think for them it's just story building, and they hear it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see Jack's concern, and they do address that with what comes up pretty much next after.
And I would even say that was from my first watch because since then I've watched the whole series. But in the beginning when you watch it, you're like, whoa, why is like Sonic is a little too arrogant. Yeah, you go like Sonic is a little too arrogant here. He's arrogant, sure, but from first watch I'm like, he's too arrogant. But please carry on. You're doing a great job.
No, you're right. They originally knocked him down a peg, so I was like, this knocks him down a peg to normal Sonic level. So I was like, okay, y'all almost was kind of getting off the rails, but y'all brought it back.
Sure. Especially when you got the hero hedgehog that we all know.
Yeah, right. They got him back on track. I was like, okay, it's all good. So like I said, we fought the robot. He fought Robotnik's robot. He spin dashed all the way down. He takes the cover off and says, Oh, where's Eggman?
Huh.
He wasn't in there. You see Tails go off, kind of pissed.
Yeah, Tails is big mad.
Yeah, and Tails don't usually get big mad because even Knuckles says he's never mad.
Yep.
So yeah, because seeing him like fly off and he looks at Sonic like you idiot.
Yeah.
Right? He was like,
he didn't say shit and just flew off.
Just flew off. Not even flying off with his two tails in the tornado.
He flew off in the plane.
He flew in the tornado.
That was telling you something right there. It was like he was mad.
So it's revealed that Sonic Earthquake helped.
Yeah, because Eggman is such a genius.
Yep, that was Eggman's plot to have him force the big earthquake that opened up.
And you know what's something I had peeped while we doing this? The code for
Yes.
Tails' door.
Yes, absolutely. I loved it because there was 2 times that they mentioned there was code, and I did love this and whatnot. As a little bit, as a supersonic nerd. So when they did 1992, I was like, ha! I didn't even have to watch YouTube to get that one. I got really excited.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the game, the year, Sonic 2 with
see.
Tails. I was like, wow.
See, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes into the garage and he's talking to Tails. He's like, listen, I brought you some comics.
And that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. Yep. Sonic knew he fucked up and he wanted to apologize because arrogant motherfuckers keep it pushing. Even though niggas will point out, don't you think your friend's a little upset? Even though he didn't say it out blatantly, you knew you fucked up. And Sonic realized he fucked up. That's why he came to make amends with Tails. Because he knew, he was like, okay, I was being stupid. I wasn't listening to my friend who's obviously smarter motherfucker shit. And he came to make amends, making Sonic very human, knowing that he may be the hero, but he fucked up here.
Right. It pointed out that he had flaws and he can acknowledge that.
100%.
I get that.
It's important that he acknowledges it himself. Nobody had like the only thing that was pointed out was Knuckles like he don't usually act like this. Sonic realized that this is his man. He fucked up and he got to talk to him about it. That was important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was definitely important for the character for Sonic because we know Sonic. Sonic is not overly arrogant, but he'll have moments. But in this one, he's like, oh man.
Sonic usually doesn't have to be bare his soul as humanistic as this. He doesn't have to apologize for his actions.
Yeah, because he usually doesn't mess up this big to this degree where Tails is like, you know what?
I mean, he's not listened to Tails before in the previous time, but never to a point where he has annoyed Tails to the point where he didn't talk.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you know this was big. He was like,
exactly.
I really messed up.
He said, I'm not fucking up my time with my best friend.
Yep, so he started to talk to Tails, he told him about him. He's like, yeah, my bad. And Tails was like, it's cool, Sonic, it's cool, but thank you.
Exactly.
And they started talking about the robot, and Sonic was telling him like, yeah, Eggman wasn't in there, but there was something else in there.
Tails was asking the right question.
Yep. Right. So Tails was like, yo, there was something in there. He's like, Sonic, did you do it with all the rest of the crap? He was like, I'll be right back.
That was so funny. Yep. That was funny.
And then Tails looking at the things like, yo, Sonic, he set you up, bro.
Oh, big time.
But no, you know what was funny about this? Because Sonic is so arrogant. I was rewatching it today, but it was so funny. If you look at Sonic's face, it's hilarious there. But Sonic thought he was so strong that he caused that explosion.
He really did.
When Tails says, no, it wasn't you. It was Eggman. And you see Sonic like, you jerk. What? Like he had this face where he was really taken back. Like, what? What do you mean?
He was popping in the streets.
Yep. He thought I was hedgehog strong. He was like, Tails just cut it. Tails just clipped his leg. Like,
oh yeah.
Nah, bro. That wasn't you.
He clipped his quills.
I'm gonna tell you about this. I think slowly through these episodes, through this show in general, like you was talking about the way how his ego was boosted at the top of this series. Yeah. I feel like they definitely handed Sonic his ass over an ego platter all throughout the.
I can see that.
Oh, they definitely did.
They melded his shit for constant, and I'm gonna bring that up, especially following into the next episode.
Sure, absolutely.
Right. So then after talking, at this point we see Rouge, and Rouge is like, yo, I think I know why he set you up and what he's after. So then she starts to give them the rundown on the Paradox Prism.
Yeah, Sonic like, how the fuck you get?
And then so she gives the details about the Paradox Prism. Tells us it's in the mountain of Green Hill, and she's like, basically, yo, the egg used your power against you.
And Sonic once again said, how the fuck you get in here?
That was great.
Yo, that had me dying.
She's like, the garage is open, y'all.
Rouge is explaining this whole thing, and Sonic is stuck on how'd you get in here.
He like that's cool and all, and we gonna handle that. But how the fuck you get in here?
And she's like,
and I'm not gonna lie, like part of it when I first saw it, cause I did chuckle. And I think one of my notes, my mental notes was, so they made him an idiot. Because I'm thinking, why do you keep like she's literally breaking down, saying, yo, get your people. I'm gonna meet up with you at this mountain. We're gonna stop the big bad egg. But how'd you get in?
I think he's like belligerently arrogant at times, like to the point where he's kind of in his own bubble and he's not realizing shit that's going on. That's basic. Like
I love that.
I'm not saying he's stupid, but he's just in a bubble that he's not realizing shit outside of his own thing. Like he's hyped in his own strength that he can handle shit, not realizing this is part of a trap or something was a collaborative effort that caused the situation. Or he's talking to Tails and he's not realizing that the fucking door's open. Like he's in a bubble pretty much.
I could get that. I could understand that.
It's like he's like, yeah, Eggman, yeah, I'll take care of him. But he's like, but I really want to know how you got in here.
Yeah,
I just need to know. I need to know how did you
bubble.
Like, I'm gonna go to the mountain. We'll go to the mountain. We'll beat up Eggman. Yeah, that's not normal stuff. He's like, but how'd you get real?
And I hope Sonic learned a big lesson from there. Close the door.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like anybody down the block could have heard your plan. Maybe they could work for Eggman. They go back. I don't know.
Oh man.
Right? The goon's like, yo, we heard Sonic coming.
Yeah, the goons definitely could have been there the whole time.
Or an evil platypus could have just came in and did something. But I digress.
Yeah.
Or Shadow. Take your pick.
Shadow. I can't wait till we talk about it.
Shadow on, yeah.
That's gonna be an interesting talk.
So Ruse goes on and say, yo, gather the people. Y'all know where we need to go. Let's go find out what Eggman doing. Mm-hmm. So the next scene, we see Eggman and his goons, and he's all happy because he's like, at last I found the Paradox Prism. Right?
No, he's trying to make that carnival, whatever he's trying to make, Eggman Land. That's what he's trying to do.
Eggland.
that's what this man has been trying to do throughout all these games, make Eggman Land. I don't know why.
Pretty much, hey, hot chicken kind of.
Yo.
Oh, and who was it that kicked his ass? Zai Li, right?
Yeah.
Not Zai Li.
Yeah, Chow Yu.
It could have been Zai Li too.
It could have been Zai Li. The game that's one too.
Honestly, yeah, that's what she's trying to play off pretty much in her character.
Okay.
She's between a little of that and Column A and Column Mortal Kombat.
Yep. Ooh. So he was going on about his plan and stuff at the mountain, and Orbot and Cubot had me dying here.
Oh yeah. When he fell into that fucking spot.
Before that, so he's like, I'm going to do this, and they're like, I'm here. Cubot's like, the mountain. He's like, oh, okay. It's like the new age of, and I'm just like, yo,
that was hilarious.
The way they kept cutting him off. Eggman was tired of them at that point. So he was so annoyed with them that when he moved the rock to go into the mountain, so that whole robot fell face down. He asked them, he's like, why you ain't telling me about this first step?
I love how these are his same Sonic. These goons was fucking hilarious in that show. So them transition over into this.
No funny. Orbot, the red one, he started out in Sonic Unleashed, and then the Cubot show up for Sonic Colors, and even then they are always pretty hilarious. They have always been hilarious. Yeah. No, they and they don't even have a big speaking.
No, they don't. But they really know how to capture the time.
Oh, absolutely. They know how to make those 5 minutes matter.
Definitely.
Yeah, every time they showed up, they've been jokes.
Yep.
So Eggman, eventually he picks himself up
and tries again.
Right. And then he finally finds the prism.
Yep.
Took him long enough, but he finally found the prism. And so he's looking at it, he's like, yeah, boy. He's like, I finally win. The world will be mine. Yes. Yep. He's like, okay, all right, y'all. We know he in that mountain doing something. Let's go find out what happened.
Second that happened, we cut back in Sonic.
Right, back in New York City, and then Sonic is going back down, falling down, contemplate what happens. He think he was going. It's so funny the way they had the garbage set up, and they think he was going to hit it. Nah, son.
Yeah.
One thing about Sonic, he's always going to land face first on the ground, grass, you name it. For whatever reason, someone who has great agility, he never lands on his feet.
He's not a cat, y'all.
This is true.
They specifically telling you this man not a cat.
Yep, he landed face first on that camp, and then he look up and he see this Eggman symbol. He's
he said, "Oh shit."
It's like, I don't know how you did it, but Eggman won.
Oh, bad nigga.
Yeah, and so at this point, someone comes in to view the little silhouette that's watching the monitor, and we find out that's Rusty Road. Yeah, they're like, listen, this unidentified running organism has outrun our egg forces, and he's heading towards Babble's area. And and so at this point, the robots, of course, Sonic is speeding by, the robots are chasing him, and Sonic's just wondering, like, yo, nothing is how it should be. This is effed up. And then we get our intro. I wish he would have. Didn't have to bleep that out.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have said this is Shadow the Hedgehog all over again.
Right? So, and then at this point, Sonic gets encountered with Babble's robot. And he's like, is this a baby?
And then it starts beating his ass.
Right?
He really was.
The little circle starts spinning around, and one of them hit on a rattle, and he busts out a rattle. So Sonic think he gonna get hit with the rattle, but nah, son cold clocked him with the other hand.
Decked him.
Right, and Sonic is trying to run and his shoes ain't cooperating. He's trying to slip and slide and dodge, do whatever he needs to do. He's smacking into everything as he's trying to run. Mm-hmm. So, he finally starts making a comeback. The baby's on his behind, though. He's jumping because he's like, no, this running and spinning ain't working right now. So he finally spins dash and hits the baby's robot. And the baby starts angrily crying. So he spins around, Next little tornado, backing up the baby's robot. You know, it's the typical stuff he would do for any Eggman robot he comes across. And then the next thing you know, robot goes sliding, he pulls off the cover. And the next thing you know, he's like, oh snap, it's a baby. And we introduce Dr. Babble. Poke it.
Angry ass baby.
Egg baby.
Fuck is Egg Baby?
It's angry Egg Baby. Why is this baby so angry?
Should have pointed this nigga.
So anyway, Sonic spins off, and the baby, he bad now. We see him chasing Sonic, he's talking all kind of gibberish because he big bad.
Yeah, and then in the distance we got some Rebel Warriors walking.
Yeah, angry baby want all the smoke. So at this point, he's like, Sonic's like, I gotta get away from this baby. So next thing you know, he's running, he quick turn into the pipe. Baby hand gets stuck in the pipe. The baby stuck in the pipe. They try to get his robot out of there. And he just bad. He just crying. He's crying. He big mad. And so at this point, we get introduced to two new characters. Or this variants. Yeah, this world's variants of Rebel Rouge and Renegade Nux.
Nux with the New York accent.
With the New York accent.
Yeah,
that's right.
New York accent.
Trust me, because I'm going to pick up on that when we recap that.
Here we go.
Right, so, Sonic was running through the tunnel and he gets out. He's like, oh, we're at Scareport. So he's looking around for somebody. He's looking around like, what's going on here? And then he sees Tails, someone that looks like Tails.
Oh, so we think.
Yeah. And so he's trying to chase him down. He's like, Tails, he's trying to catch up to him. And he's like, yo, where'd he go? So he's looking, and Sonic is just like, yo, I'm tired of this place. I'm ready to go home. Give me my palm trees. This ain't it.
He sound like somebody who came here.
and then so he walks past a panel and it looks familiar. So he types in the code
1992
again, and he just strolls on in again, not closing the door.
See, he's not really a fan of closing his door.
I told you that man's in his bubble. He don't fuck with anything outside the bubble. That door's not in his bubble.
And then so he sees what looks like Tails. He spins Tails around and he realizes it ain't Tails. And Tails is like, yo, who are you and why are you in my lab, bruh? And then Son busts out the Dr. Octopus fit.
yeah, that was great. He says, Tails, it's 9. I said, wow, this guy really went through a emo stage right about now.
You about to see 9 hands.
He's smacking up Sonic. He's like, who sent you? He's attacking him with his metal tails.
Yes.
Yeah. Tails wanted to smoke. He's dragged Sonic. He dragged Sonic. He spit him around. He chucked him. Yo, he was really putting Sonic through it. So throw once in the train.
And it was amazing because I was gonna say it was amazing because he actually kicked the guy out of his house, but he still wanted to still kick this guy's ass. I guess just for invading and also leaving his damn door open.
Right.
There you go. That's the real reason he kicked his ass.
Yeah, because he left the door open. He's like, you ain't learned the last time, Sonic. So at this point, they're fighting on the trains, and the Rebel Army got their little agents out, so they reporting back to Rouge and Nux. So at this point, 9 is on Sonic's behind.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep.
And Sonic's trying to explain to me, like, yo, we're friends. Why you keep attacking me? And he was like, listen, in this cold, heartless city, I ain't got no friends.
Very emo.
Yeah, it's so emo. That's My Chemical Romance emo.
For real. So, Sonic still doesn't, not trying to fight. He's not trying to fight his friends. So he's ducking and dodging and diving. He's like, nah, this is not how it's supposed to be, bruh. He's like, we got blue skies, sunny beaches, palm trees, all that good stuff. And Tails is like, what are you talking about? We ain't got none of that here. Mm-hmm. Concrete and steel and Eggman stuff. Definitely. So as Tails was fighting, Tails slipped, and then the train was going to come, and Sonic saved him. And 9, was like, you saved me. Mm-hmm. And Sonic was like, I've been trying to tell you we're friends. And then tell 9 still not hearing it. He's like, yeah. He's like, nah, your story's nah, you the enemy. And then Sonic is trying to tell him, like, nah, we're best friends. I'm tired of fighting you.
You my aunt.
Right? And then so Sonic then starts telling 9 the stories of, and I like the flashback to the Sonic 2 video game.
Well, it was so cool because the aesthetics definitely, but they used that story for Sonic Origin, where they had like a little cutscene where you see these two and the same colored fox messing with Tails, and Sonic run by and all that stuff. So I thought that was really cool when they did that, because I immediately had Sonic Origin that on the brain. But I also did, like you said, when they had the aesthetics, where that was the kind of game, that was the game we were playing when we were kids.
That's like
right. So Sonic was telling him what happened in his world, and then Tails was telling him what happened here.
Yeah.
And the foxes, like, they were picking on him for having an extra tail, and then they was real bullies and stuff like that. So then he got to a point where he started building extra tails, and he became 9.
He did become 9. That's a lot of tails.
Yeah. And then Sonic is trying to use his his Sonic brain, trying to figure out. He's like your tails, but you're not Tails. He's like, And then Nine starts asking, so what else did we do?
Yeah, because you start warming up to him.
Yeah. And then Sonic, he smirks and he starts telling him about all this cool stuff. And Tails like generally intrigued. So that was cool. And they tell him how he beat up Eggman and all this other stuff. And then Tails was like, you mean the Chaos Console? He's like, no, I mean Eggman.
You mean Mr. Dr. Eggman?
Yeah, right?
Oh,
he says, yeah, sure.
We going into that too.
He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, that sounds good. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Right? He's like, yeah. And he's like, we have our ups and downs, but we always stick together. We never lose. So, Sonic is just reminiscing at this point. And he was like, Nine was like, yo, Sonic, your shoes are smoking. What's going on, buddy? He's like, of course they are. I can't go anywhere in this place without my shoes smoking. And then Son put out the blicky on him. He's like, I can't stand whiners. Sonic was like, oh no, Tails gonna shoot me. Oh, shit. It's just a scan gun.
Hey, listen, he's in a whole nother world.
I know, right? He's like,
I wouldn't trust that either.
Exactly. You don't know. That shit could have been a laser beam.
Right?
Because he even sat here and said, I thought we were bonding. And he said, relax.
Right.
Listen, man, I mean, that man tried to kill me on the train just 5 seconds ago. You never know. He could have turned.
Yeah, right.
No, legit, Sonic was, he had legit concern. I ain't mad at him for it.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's what we're saying.
Actually using his brain for one.
Yeah, no, he was concerned about Tails turning heel on him right there on the spot.
Right? He was like, I thought I was getting through to you. Oh, shit.
He said, I thought we had a heart-to-heart. You just gonna shoot me? All right.
Right here? In the dirty streets of New York City?
Right.
Oh, that's 100% where it's gonna happen.
That seems like the place to be at.
Right. We all wouldn't be surprised.
Absolutely.
So at this point, Nine is like, yo, follow me. And so, Nine gets to working on stuff. And then he comes with these little discs. And he was telling Sonic, like, yo, this may work. It may not. I don't know how this energy works, but it should level you out. So he starts putting the disc on Sonic's hands and his shoes. And then Sonic starts glowing, and his shoes change. So do his gloves. And Sonic is pleased. He's like,
I gotta say, the gear did look pretty badass.
Yeah, I liked
it. Yeah, I liked it.
Yep. Yeah, the way they did up his shoes and his gloves, it was fire.
It was nice.
And Sonic was like, yo, this is nice. These are lit. He's like, yo, Tails, if you stop with this mad scientist gig, you should make some fashion accessories. I'm like, he's like, let me go outside and test him out.
I mean, he not raw. Look at him. He could have been underground Dabba Dan. Like, he popping in these streets.
Right? Get some New York City fashion going on. I'm like, okay.
And then he's back in his bubble again, though, because Tails Nine keeps telling him, like, bro, like, stay low.
I keep telling you, Sonic throughout this series is showing off how bad he's in that bubble that gets him caught.
No, it is. And in the beginning, it's a lot worse, but carry on.
Yeah.
And then who do we see? Dr. Babble's robot is back.
The baby.
The baby.
Baby got baby back.
Yep.
Right?
Baby back.
And as they're being taken away, Tails is like, I told you to stay low. He's like, no, you didn't. He's like, yes, I did.
I thought you learned from listening to Tails. What happened, boy?
Classic Sonic.
It is. Well, no, he didn't make an appearance. This is Prime Sonic.
You're right. Right? Like short attention span at his finest.
That bubble.
Oh yeah.
So at this point we see Rebel Rouge and Nux, and it was like he's like the blue thing got a friend. He's like, they ain't look very friendly, but whoever he is, he's involved now.
Can you imagine that? Like you was living in this world of isolation by yourself, and these people you don't even know. Like now you're part of the resistance.
You're
what,
part of
bro?
Revolution, my nigga. Like what?
All right. You're like, I just want to make tech and mind my business. Now you're telling me I'm sitting here trying to save the world? Nah.
Viva la revolution. So at this point, we see Sonic. He starts to come to, and he's all tied up, electrified, and ring. And he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" He's like, "Why is this bright light on me?" Look like his nose got a little busted up a little bit. And the next thing you know, he sees some robots, and then he sees Nine. He's like, "Nine, is that you?" He's like, "Is that you down there, little one, or are you the medium-sized one?"
Oh, he's such a genius.
And then he see a blurry silhouette. He's like, "Amy, is that you?" He's like, "All right, we getting somewhere." And he's like, "Amy, you got a key?" She's like, "Negative." And she's like, "My identification is Rusty Rose." And Sonic is just shocked. He's like, "You're a robot?" And she's like, "No, I'm just mechanically enhanced."
See that vibe? Have you guys seen Justice League Apocalypse War or Just Dark or any of that?
I've seen Dark War. Apocalypse Wars sound familiar. You had to tell me which one.
It's the final one. The final one of that animated.
Oh, and like the young Justice League they were taking over, and like Darkseid won that one. Yeah. I remember that. And Batman was like his own slave or something. Like that. Okay.
That's what it gave me vibes of. Between that and when they took over Cyborg.
Oh, that's interesting.
Darkseid used them to flip on the Justice League shit like that. That is exactly what happened.
That is
exactly
interesting.
What happened to Amy.
That is interesting. I didn't think that vibe. That's a good take.
The second I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what happened.
And then so he's like, Amy, she's like, Rusty Rose is like, cease talking. And then we see we see this silhouette of some chairs come out, and Sonic wants to look at them like, what's going on?
The hell is this?
Right? And they start introducing the Chaos Concept.
Hey, Counselor Eggman.
Yo, for real. And we got intro to Dr. Dunnit, the old grandpa.
Didn't he just wake up from a nap?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Good.
And then we get introduced to Dr. Deep and Dr. Don't.
Playing the Switch.
Right? And then, of course, our nemesis, Dr. Babble, baby.
Yep, fuck that baby.
And then we get introduced to Dr. Mr. Eggman. And Sonic says, you're the angriest baby I've ever met, which I agree with.
I mean, there's always Stewie Griffin and also, I was going to say the guy from, what was it, Baby Boss or Boss Baby or something like that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, let's talk right now. It looked like that man getting cooked up. I don't think
what the
Boss Baby's coming.
Yep. No, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, and so Sonic finally then goes on to say, "Oh, that's who you were talking about."
I love Nine's reaction because you could tell he's like, I've never dealt with such idiocy in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yo, the way Nine rolls his eyes, he's just like, yo.
There's a factor of done that Tails is series.
Yes.
with Sonic and Tom.
I would even go as far as to say like Tails give you like meme vibes. Like some of his reaction you could just totally use as a meme.
Yeah.
You for real. And then council start talking. It's like Sonic's like the council. He's like, this ain't nothing but an Eggman family reunion.
They talking about some bullshit that 1 makes 5 and 5 make 1.
And it was funny because when he did that, there was literally 1 and then it spread to be 5. Yeah.
Right? He's like, we're not a family reunion. He's like, 5 makes 1, 1 makes 5. I'm like, whatever. And Sonic's just like, yo, so many Eggmans. He's like, I got so many questions. She's like, somebody got an aspirin. Yo,
I don't blame him. I mean, like, this is your arch nemesis, right? And now there's like 5 of them, 5 fucking of them. Like, you multiplying?
Yeah, right.
And then one of them is a baby.
Like, I got the same question Sonic gonna got. Where did baby come from? Where the rest of y'all come from?
Listen, this gives me so much Dexter vibe with Dexter and Mandark throughout.
Yeah.
And then the old man goes up to Sonic's like, you ain't so bad. He started poking him with his little cane with his little tennis balls in the end. And Sonic's like, you got one more time to poke me.
But you know what's funny about the old man Eggman? I had the vibes of Eggman Nega because he had the scheme color kind of with the shirt and everything like that. Yeah. So I was thinking, maybe they kind of not necessarily based it off it, but they would like that was a little thing I picked up.
I mean, that's also probably attached to since he was old school.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I could see him doing some callbacks in. That would be one of them.
And also too, he was from the future.
Yeah, exactly.
So that little piece
kind of add that all together.
And so the egg family are really confused.
The egg family
are really confused how Sonic knows so much about them, but they don't know nothing about him.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry. That's so great. The Egg Family, created by Tyler Perry.
Right? So they're like, this thing. He's like, it really? And they're like, you just popped. They're chatting like, you just popped out of nowhere. He's like, nah, I've been here the whole time, dude. And then here come Ruby Rose talking about, maybe we should put him through a series of grueling, life-endangering diagnostic tests. And he's like, yo, Amy, you're not helping. And of course, the Egg Clan, they completely agree.
I love the spot too because like when she says that like test, he says, "Come on, Amy, that's not good. You know I don't do good on tests." I said, "This guy."
Right. It's a fact.
I mean, at least he was honest. I mean, I know that feeling.
He kept his stack. And so next thing you know, he was like, "Yo." At this point, they start putting him through all these tests,
and these tests feel like playable levels.
Yeah,
right? More playable levels,
or like a training tutorial kind of thing.
Like,
this is how Sonic runs. This is how Sonic jump. Press A to jump.
Or in Sonic Frontiers, this is how you punch and dodge attacks now.
Right?
There's literally that time they put him in a half. There's literally a part.
A hamster ball.
And so the first part was lasers. And Sonic's like, I hate lasers. So at this point, he's dodging the lasers, and eventually, Sonic gets laser to the point where he confused the laser enough to them to shoot on each other. He's like, well, that's done. It's like, that's all you got. And so then they push him on to the next stage. And, he's just going through it. When he was dodging the lasers, Nine looked concerned. He's like, oh, he about to die. But we know it's Sonic, so he was like, all right. He's like, I got this. He's like, what else you got? He was like, Rusty Rose was like, all right, next level. And that next level looks familiar. I was like, oh, okay.
That chemical plant zone, right?
Yep. Jump. And as I'm watching all these levels, I'm like, oh yeah, all of these looks familiar. I remember playing these. And Sonic, he's just killing them. So, and he did the second level. He looked at the Egg Clan, and Rusty Rose. She get kind of mad because she's like, oh, my test ain't working. I'm trying to jack up this hedgehog. He dodging and bobbing and weaving, and she's like, okay, let's kick up the knot. And so at this point, he and this little ball spinning around. We were all just looking, and he's like, "Hey, what happened to you?" He's like, "What happened to Bert?" And she's like, "You wouldn't do that." And then she's like, Birdie would disagree, and she opened up the hatch and she saw Birdie in there. Sonic was tight.
Yeah,
he was big mad.
Yeah, what did he say? He said something over the lines like, "You're not heartless" or something like that, and that's what she led her to open up the thing.
She pulled up that, and I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the darkest part of the damn show, because she pulled that shit out, and that sick bird was in there, and she powered by a sick bird. You like, God damn.
Right.
And Sonic was like, "Hey, oh, wait a minute."
Right. He was like questioning how to take off a hedgehog, and he's like messing with my friends. His son started spinning crazy, started building up energy.
He increased the speed.
Yeah.
No, that was, and the visuals once again. I mean, I can't express enough how the visuals of the show, how beautiful it was. So when he's doing all this stuff and is making like this, like all this light and all that kind of, he's making an energy, I guess is the best way to describe it, doing all that, and he's making it in this hamster ball. He even sees Shadow, and he's thinking he's high. He sits and said, "I must be hallucinating."
Yep.
It was really some good stuff. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Oh yeah, the animation there was amazing.
Man, yeah,
so good. Like Jack was saying, he starts spinning through. He thinking he's hallucinating. He starts hearing Knuckles and others. And he's like, "It's all broke." Knuckles Shadow was like, "It's all broken. It's all broken."
Right.
And he's like, "Huh?" And then he starts getting little flashback pieces of Green Hill and what happened. And then he gets sucker punched.
What a way to end episode 1, right?
Right. And I was like, who's next?
But I gotta say, I just how episode 1 was all. So I was already interested in the show, but I was like, that's how you do episode 1.
Yeah, and they made that first episode extra length, more than the follow to show whole full out vision. That's possible.
Right, because I feel like the next few episodes, not that episode 1. Episode 1 was everything it needed to be, because it was this like introduction to this characters, this world, and what the story's going to be. And then the next episodes, I was like, oh, this is so digestible. Yeah.
And what I liked about that part is I love how they showed him grabbing the rings.
Yes.
And then here comes Shadow.
Yep. So right off the bat, my final impression of the first episode, vibrant, beautiful collaboration, everyone on the right path, definitely to give me the, like I said before, Spider-Man 5, interesting. But everyone is dope. Like I was saying from before, my small little thing, I think the regular, like when we back Green Hill, I don't think I like the Knuckles, like the like right when we're in the Green Hill zone. It's something about the Knuckles voice that I'm not vibing to, but I like the range that they changed it while going through his variant. I like the voice better when we're maneuvering through different versions. I think like the original when he's in Green Hill sounds.
He had like a deep voice. When I was watching back today, so it's interesting you said it. I didn't necessarily I disliked it, but it definitely was like, oh okay. But his New York accent, when you hear it, I was like, why don't we have that? Why don't we have more of that?
Like I guess variants sound better to me.
I guess the New York one I guess the first one in Green Hill reminded me of the movie.
But even in the movie,
I don't think that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say in the movie, Ildris had like a certain extent, like he brought out Knuckles. I think with this one, I don't know. It was just I don't know. It was kind of basic, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
Yeah, it was just like basic.
I feel like in a rank of Knuckles voices in that very beginning, that one probably low tier in one heard. I think I've heard other Knuckles.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, Pirate Knuckles was tremendous.
Yeah, that's why.
Pirate of the Caribbean Knuckles.
Variant Knuckles down the lines are way better.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same person.
But I think what it is it also
it probably is. He was just trying different.
Could be. That could be. And I do want to say, because we're talking about voices, the guy who voiced Sonic, the kid who voices Sonic, he did such a tremendous job. Oh, yeah. I did want to throw that out there because there's so many lineup. Like one, I'll say this. I was telling my little brother this. Also, everybody, it's another. Absolutely, I wanted to throw that out.
Very important.
I wanted to throw it out there. I was telling my little brother, I was like, "Yo, back in the day, Sonic was voiced by Jamil White."
Yeah.
And I said, Sonic has always been black.
Yeah.
Don't let it fool you. Sonic has always been black.
Not only was Sonic black, Sonic Urkel.
he was Urkel. He definitely was Urkel. He was absolutely. So I thought the kid who did it, I forgot his name, but he did such a tremendous job doing it, and he brought out the arrogance. He brought out the Sonic essence.
Oh yeah,
did such a tremendous job.
There ain't nobody who could fight off this Sonic voice because it felt and sounded like Sonic.
It did. It felt like if you was playing the game and you heard that voice, you would have never thought nothing of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, throughout this whole episode, there was no comment like, yo, Sonic sounds weird. Nah, he sounded exactly like he needed to sound.
So shout outs to D-Meg. That's
his name. Yes, he did a great job.
Yeah, tremendous job here.
Great job.
Yeah, what's your guys' final impression?
Oh man, I loved it. I mean, like you said, the visual was, and I think that's the thing that just took me off rip was the visual. So when you see the visual, you're like, oh, I'm definitely gonna love this. Yeah. And all the characters, it's great to see Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. I mean, the big three. Then you have Amy, Rogue, and Big the Cat is in there. And I thought it was really cool because you was mentioning codes, but they told him in one spot, because I love little Easter things like that because I'm such a Sonic nerd. Oh, and they're like, 1998, get back in line. I said Sonic Adventure. Yeah, I was so excited about that. So I love the little Easter eggs that they did, like things like that. And this was just so much fun. It was a different take on Sonic. There's been so many different takes on Sonic. Matter of fact, funny story, but when I first watched episode 1, I was waiting for it at 12, but it didn't come out on 12. And I watched The Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog because back in the day, that was like my jam. And you just see the growth in all these Sonic cartoons. Sonic X was going to be like number 1 for me because it had the best intro, mind you. But and I wish Sonic Prime did have that cool ass intro.
That's a thing I pointed out for sure, because the first episode you could always kind of like float by with the opening being what it is, not actually saying what it is. But then when you brought it up in like the second episode, you're like, oh, okay, so there's a little notch to it that I want to talk about, but I see where they're going, but it does beat the jams of something like Sonic X.
Oh, Sonic X is so great. I mean, come on, gotta go fast. Come on,
gotta go fast.
Gotta go faster. Yeah, come on, guys. But good stuff. Episode 1 was tremendous.
Oh, listen, I enjoyed this from jump. It was like every time you go into a Sonic property outside of the games, it's always like, I hope they don't mess it up. And this one, they hit a home run with it. So I was so happy after watching this first episode. I was like, yay, they got it right.
2022 was a phenomenal cap off. Sonic gear pop. So them get this at the end of the year was already like a cap off for that perfect.
Right. So claps to Sonic so far. Yes. Episode 1. I definitely was watching episode 2 after this because it had me hooked. I was like, yeah, all right, I gotta see what happened with 9 or the Egg Clan. And then I'm like, oh, we see Shadow. He punched Sonic. Oh, yay, all right.
So we can step in the episode of Yoko.
What a title. What a title.
That's a hell of a title.
Right. So, of course, classic Netflix stuff, and then we get Sonic, we see a spinning light. And at this point we get our intro to Shadow. Our legit intro. And he's over here smashing up stuff. He's smashing up rocks. He mad, but he's Shadow. He always mad. So so he just destroying rocks and stuff. Yep, he got that green Chaos Emerald. You see it. He's like,
he got that damn Chaos Emerald.
Using that Chaos Control, baby, and teleporting out of there.
That's right. Son is on it. He's like, yeah, I got my Chaos Emerald. This is what's up.
Yeah. So we see the blast had affected him as well as what Sonic did for him. So he sees that. So he already knows. He like, Sonic fucked up.
The look on his face, he's just like.
Yep. And we cut to now. So we cut to now the opening, and as with the opening comes the cracking vibe of the thing that plays out, and you see it more shatter as does the series in general. It gave me co-host. You remember when we was watching Invincible and how the blood splatter increased more on the episode?
Oh, that's
exactly the vibe that this gave me.
Right, and the last thing we see before the little title comes is Shadow saying Sonic.
Just like that.
Yep.
Just like that.
So after the opening kicks up, we got Shadow crash back in the Sonic.
Right. Now we know why he back. At this point, he looking for Sonic. That's why he back.
Yep.
He's
Sonic,
like, we yet.
In the midst of this, in a DJ scratch, the shit. How did I get to here moment? Sonic starts to narrate the intro to Shadow.
Yep. He's like, this is what. Yep. And then Shadow just punches him. He's like, yeah.
He's like, Sonic got an evil twin.
He's like, this is Shadow, my biggest rival. He's also really a buzzkill.
He really is, though.
Yeah, but by the way, he's on roller skates.
The air shoes.
Air shoes.
I love that little.
Get that shit right, air shoes, nigga.
I love how he breaks the fourth wall for that 100%, moment. Just 100%. Straight up, just like.
He said, "You're not playing with me. You're not playing with
don't
my
do
name."
Right? Shadow's not with it.
They've been making these jokes for years, bro. He gonna address this right now.
But and that's something I appreciate. The stuff with like. Sonic Team and all that stuff. They know that people be,
I'm a Shadow fan. So this shit being a love letter to Shadow. This is the best show characterization I've seen Shadow. So this was great.
His intro was so badass.
Yeah.
That's how you make an intro. Him just running, him just smashing through everything. Yep. And I always love that the emerald. It can't be any other color if he does the Chaos Control.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be green.
It's gotta be green. Like that is his color.
Yep. It's literally show me a better tag team than Shadow and that green Chaos.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That is it.
That really is that is the tag team. Like they will never split apart. Yeah, like they've been teaming up for the last 20 years.
That's him like Goku in the 4-star Dragon Ball.
It's the 4-star. Okay.
Yep. That's his grandpa right there in that visual. Like right there, Shadow that green Chaos. So we kick off straight into Shadow versus Sonic go down, and boy, let's talk about the this fight because right off bat we got music that reminds straight off the bat of Adventure Battle 2. They fight could go in the echelon of anime fight of the year. That's how good that shit was smacking around.
Yeah, what got me about that was Sonic was like, yo, what I do? And Shadow was like, you shook the world.
Shit, the chase battle is on, baby.
But real quick though, I will say real quick, because like when the episode 1 did end and he ran into Shadow, him having Sonic be like, whoa, 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 like all scared of Shadow. I'm like, dude, you fought this guy plenty of times. What are you so scared about this guy for? I just wanted to point that out.
He was probably not realizing he was about to get bopped. It's like you being in a football game, you don't realize you're playing and somebody hit.
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty much me all through high school. So yeah, that's relatable.
He didn't expect the whole person to mow him down.
No, I think it was just he knew that asshole was coming. He was like, oh man.
Yeah, because he didn't realize until it was too late that someone was coming at him and he got smacked up.
So he's running and he sees Shadow. He know he can't stop. He's like, oh man.
Like you might have fight somebody a million times, but when they catch you off guard, it's still gonna hurt.
Fair enough. I wish Sonic was using his Sonic senses.
Well, we seen that's not.
Not in this one. I get it.
But right off the rip, you got straight into it because Shadow knocked the rings out this nigga. So we going right into this smoke.
Oh yeah, this battle was cool, yo.
I was there with the birds. The birds was watching, and I was watching too. Shit.
Sonic every time Sonic tried to get away, and Shadow kept knocking rings out of him. I'm just like, yo.
I said Shadow is really handing Sonic his ass.
No, it really was. There was one spot, I think it was later into this fight, where when Sonic turns around, he says, "I gotta save my pal." He says, "Stay focused." Like Shadow really was not. Shadow was definitely coming off as a superior fighter. Or
listen, guys, this bubble is forming and it's getting bigger and bigger because literally him telling him to focus is another part of the fucking bubble. This man's not paying attention into that bubble, and that when he's not focused in that bubble, he will catch these hands. Literally.
Yeah, for real. Yo, Kirby was like the flickies was just watching like, yeah.
The only thing missing was the flickies having popcorn.
Right, yo, for real.
But no, the animation and everything coming together, the fight and choreography, everything is that shit was Kiss. I was Kiss from the first ever battle that they was meeting off. Even the soundtrack.
Listen, Shadow was moving on his roller skate.
Their air shoes.
I let Jack answer that one.
Right, I was
Well, you gotta have like the little pause in the middle where he goes, and then it's like it's air shoes.
Yeah, he did. Yo, oh man.
That's why he bopped on him.
No, you never disrespect the man's footwear.
Sonic should understand that.
He should totally understand that.
Right? Like y'all was saying, he said he was going to help his friends. Shadow Club Coke one more time.
He said, "Focus, nigga."
And then we get flashback to New York City, and they show it. We see Big and Froggy, and then we see the little projector thing putting pictures of Sonic. Like, have you seen this hedgehog? And they just show all kinds of pictures of Sonic. Big and Froggy's like, oh shoot. And then we see Dr. Babble's robot, and the robots, they out looking for Sonic.
Yep, Sonic blasted all over them one and both.
Right, and the little PA talking about dream egg thoughts. Egg is perfect. I'm like, oh boy.
Brainwashing.
Right? And then we see Rouge and Renegade Nux again. Right? We're just going back to the point where they saw Sonic and I'm getting captured by the robot.
So this is what I was talking about earlier, because after they go back and see the troops, that's when it definitely became Sonic Forces vibe.
Yeah,
for sure.
Forces,
The Resistance look like custom characters and the people you met during the war.
Yeah, and I think that's what made me think that was the other animals like the beaver. And, that's what gave me the whole thought about that.
This show is taking vibes like literally probably every video.
I'm trying to think. So there's a pirate venture that I know we're not talking about that. So I'm trying to think of what game that is, but I would think Sonic Rush Adventure, because that's when they had like the whole thing where they were in the sea and stuff like that. But
possibly they touch bases.
Or maybe they just like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
That too. It's a mix of column A, column B, probably.
There we go.
Right. So at this point we see Rouge and Nux. They going back to their hideout and they trying to the Resistance hideout.
In the middle of this, Rouge have flashback them tearing up.
Oh man, wasn't that something? Captain Planet would never allow this. I'm sorry, and I do not like Captain Planet, but I just see Captain Planet saying, "Did you not listen to me?"
So,
I don't know.
So quick pause, Jack. Have you seen the Captain Planet Don Cheadle stuff?
Oh, that's my Captain Planet.
Okay, I was about to say,
my Captain Planet.
Listen, evil Captain Planet with Don Cheadle was something else. That was a serious.
Oh, I was for that, and he was about to turn turn people into a fucking tree.
I'll turn you into a fucking tree.
Yo, no.
No, that's my Captain Planet.
That was something else.
Yes, that was tremendous.
Dodger was in his bag for that series.
Well, he knew this was the only way Captain Planet would be cool. Because not for nothing, if you used to sit there and ask me, what's the coolest thing about Captain Planet? The theme. Once it stopped, what we doing? Thank you.
Dang, we gotta put it like that.
I'm sorry. I have a list of things that I could just sit here and go off on, but carry on. But yeah, they destroyed this forest, which really looked it actually kind of breaks your heart because you just see. I'm so used to seeing Green Hill Zone. I've never like played a Sonic game and it was just like, fuck these trees, fuck the grass. I've never I'm sitting there going, I couldn't even imagine playing a Sonic game and seeing that. Right, and then instantly turning this into this industrial city with smoke and it's just
Rouge definitely having PTSD because she's seeing that shit go down, and then she's seeing everybody fighting, Knuckles fighting them off and everything, and everyone and everything is like changing for a violent level here.
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't want to say grim. I don't want to use the word grim, but there was some pretty dark shit here.
Oh no, that's definitely hella grim. The way how Rouge was thinking about that shit, like imagine you just woke up from a nap and they're destroying your whole home, and everybody's being attacked and overtaken and shit like that. And this is a world pretty much, I guess, without Sonic, so that's even 10 times worse.
Right, imagine somebody you coming home from work and you see your house getting bulldozed down. It's like
exactly to replace it with a whole bunch of depressed and mind-washed people. Like that's sad.
That's why everybody depressed. They got their old sunny skies. Now they got smog and
fucking pollution and everything. They dealing with New York.
So Captain Pollution won.
Yep.
Captain Pollution won.
So the Resist pretty much thinking the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
This whole Sonic shit. So they aimed to free him.
Right. Because they knew they would stand a chance, and they needed the numbers. Because I think they had like 2 other guys with them, 2 other animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, they needed Sonic. They totally needed Sonic.
When they showed the palm tree, I was like, oh man.
I think that's where you pull the heartstring tug comes in. Because you just see it gave me Mr. Freeze, forgot his wife's name vibe because I think he had it was Nora. Good job. It was Nora. Good stuff. But he has her in this Kate. Chamber. Thank you. And that's what I got when I saw this one palm tree that they saved. The only palm tree that they can save. And I think a little bit of snow came down or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's probably the tree of life that's probably supposed to help them, build back Green Hill when this all over.
Cool. And that definitely becomes a theme.
Yep.
It do.
Becomes their era of hope.
And I'm like, oh.
Oh, so this was the very thing that Sonic Forces needed.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of Sonic Forces jokes here because that game should have been good.
Trust me, that game had all the potential, and then they fucked it up. I was like, this just going into that Sonic game was so weird to be in the middle of a war situation. I feel like that was the weirdest comic book hook to that damn video game because I was like, you're in the middle of a war now? What's going on?
Hey, you know what makes me mad? They did capture Sonic, and they said Sonic has been captured for a year. Eggman, why have you not tortured it? Sonic looked good. Sonic looked like he was all good in the game. Yep. Eggman, you fool. That's why Infinite even says later in the game, you've been battling Sonic for decades and you failed. Yep. And we never seen Infinite again, but carry on. We never seen him again.
There we go. They just use his color scheme.
Well, you know what? I made a joke one time to a friend. I said, eventually, you know what they do when you become a joke. You end up being in Mario and Sonic, the Olympic Games, and they trot you out there.
Oh,
100%, big dog.
They end up, woof, woof.
Not at the Olympic Games. Oh, man.
You gonna see that nigga spinning the hammer.
He's going to be doing, Homeboy's going to be doing track and field. Yep.
We got Olympic Games coming up next year. They cooking up another game.
Oh no. Please don't.
Yeah.
Sonic's, where we left off last time, Sonic's power overwhelmed system and it blasted the whole city. So it blasted again.
Classic Sonic.
Yep.
And he's not even in it.
Yep.
Right.
So basically his power is like a big ass EMP. So it knocked out all the robots, and then that actually, I love this part. This actually jokingly becomes a part of people's revolutionary back to it because they see the robots are dead and they start to kick the robots while they're down and shit like that.
It's like, get up!
And Rouge and Nux they sneak in while the lights are down and shit like that. So while the lights are back up, the robots are starting to get back into it, and the citizens all get back into line. But they realize that little hint of hope. They said the robots were out and we had the control, and they realized, hell, if it happened once, it can happen again. So that already starts to that was the spark of revolution that everybody needed. That's all it takes. Cooking. That shit started making everybody. They literally said, you know what, we have hope, and I like that.
I think even one of them even said something about we should join the resistance.
Yeah, right off bat.
That was the thing.
That shit was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that was a perfect representation of how quick revolution.
Absolutely.
I was like, yes.
All it gave them was 5 seconds of glory that they cooked. That they literally kicked over a dead robot for like 5 seconds. They was like, you know what, we have
that robot.
We can change everything.
And when that robot got back up, it was like, get back in line.
Yeah. I just love the way they kicked the robot. It was like,
they did it, but they were starting to sneak it. All it takes is a sneaky conversation. It was like, you know what, we can win.
Like I like kicking these robots. You know what? This is you know how these robots gotta go. Like this is it.
So back in the area with council, they definitely aim to. They see Sonic's energy and his potential and shit like that, and we got Rose checking his energy potential and shit like that. So they obviously aim to extract Sonic's energy.
Mm-hmm.
All thanks to the baby, and the baby y'all keep saying fuck that baby, because that baby does sit here and says something. And they said, you're like, that sounded inhumane. Are you sure?
Boy babble.
Right? That little baby saw it. Ooh.
Yep.
I can see why y'all really hated this baby.
Yep. So they start to pull out the machine works and they definitely go and extract Sonic the hard way. And in the midst of that, he was like, y'all gonna give me my last words though. Sonic stalls the fuck out of this shit, saying all that other bullshit. He's trying to see if Nine's got a plan and all this shit. He keep winking at him.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that part.
I do love that. I love that because you're like, maybe there's some kind of plan. And Sonic, because he overdoes it.
Yeah.
He overdoes it. And Mr. Dr. Eggman, stop winking.
He's like, what the? Come on, man.
And he's like, Tails, if you have that plan. Oh no, I had something in my eye. I said, that's great.
Hey, Hedgehog, get on with it.
He's like, damn, I'm gonna die then.
He accepted it too. He was like, well, it was a good run.
Until Rude Nuts finally stepped in, saved Sonic with that whole shutdown shit.
It's like, yeah, we in this. Let's go.
Oh, this is great. This is cool stuff.
Right?
Yeah. Fight progressed. Everybody started melting up, shit like that. And the fight ends up pushing the laser to free Sonic.
And Sonic's like, I'm still alive. Woohoo!
Yeah, he's still alive, but he's still caught up and rolling around like a coin.
Hey, Sonic looks on the positive side.
Yep.
Well, at least he's alive.
And now we got the Resist versus the robots.
Right, let's go Resistance. Like, I like the animation here too.
Yep.
Yes.
It feels like another playable edition here.
This looked like one of those. I'm trying to think of the parts of the game. It's like when you have to press the button at the right time. I forget what they call it.
Yeah. Quick time events.
Quick time. Yeah. It's like quick time. There's like quick time part there. Yep.
That's exactly what this would be too in game form.
Yep.
It would be.
And with the commotion gets so crazy that fucking the council almost ends up losing their heads.
They got them all. They
lucky they all ducked at the same time. Shit. Imagine the old man was taking a nap and boom, his head get lobbied off.
Right.
Well, that would have been the last nap.
Yeah.
It's the best I got for him.
Final nap, baby.
And he went out sleeping. He's the best way to go.
So the council says this shit too wild, so they escaped to safety.
Oh, cowards. Cowards.
Well, listen, they didn't want they didn't have the lung power for that kind of smoke.
Oh hell, not even close.
Nah.
Especially not the old man.
The old man was like, nah.
He pumped
y'all
out.
not gonna. He's pumped out. Y'all
Notepad.
Listen, Sonic's like, I owe you one for poking me with your cane. Nah, come back here.
Damn, I didn't know owing you one was lobbying off a nigga head. She's serious.
So at this point, Nine goes to hacking.
Yep.
And
I thought this was cool. I thought this was cool because it gave everyone a chance. Like one of you guys mentioned earlier in the earlier episode, like when Sonic was with his friends, you get to see them in their own
characterization,
and you just see him just work. You see Nine just doing his damn thing.
I like the little part where Knuckles got so caught up with the shit like that he don't know who the enemy was. He's about to snuff out Nine, and Nine was like, no, don't touch me. I'm part of this. I'm part of the good guys. You can move on.
Yeah. And there was also a spot with Nine where he's trying to hack, and I thought this was so great because he uses his nine tails. One of the robots that's trying to sneak up behind him.
Yeah,
he's like, click. Nah, get out of my face.
He didn't even turn around.
He was on an spree the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, Nine was not playing.
He pushed one of them to get smushed. That shit was. I was like, you know what? That was dark, man.
That was dark.
He pushed it slowly so it could get smushed. I was like, God damn.
He was not playing.
He was torturing it. But yeah, this episode proved that we're on the slew of episodes that are starting to be shorter because this episode kind of ended quicker because this episode like kind of ends with Amy like about to like strike the shit out of Sonic.
No, for real.
And that was a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, fun, quick, and with a good another good cliffhanger.
And I think that was the thing. I like that it was digestible, but you had a lot of action in there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was thinking episode 3 was such a fun one, and I know I just want to throw real quick because we talk about the animations and everything, but the fight sequence when all of them are together and they're doing like the spin dash and all that stuff. This episode was so fun, and when it led to the next few episodes, I really wanted to. So this whole Sonic Prime, he travels to all these different universes and stuff. I wanted to see more of New York. I wanted to see New York City more. And you know,
that feels like our prime area pretty much. So
it does. It's on Station Square.
Yeah. It would be great as an open world. I hope if they do it, they make that New York City with open worlds.
Literally, I mean, in a sense, you could do the same thing like you did with Mario Odyssey, where Mario has to go around this. You could do the same thing.
Oh, that was such a good game too.
New York.
It was.
Exactly.
Yeah, what do they call that? New Dong City. Yeah, New Dong City.
See, I mean, everything's a playoff. York.
Well, New York is the shit. Like
exactly. Talk your shit, baby.
New York's the shit. You know.
Everybody else looking out and be like, how they always put you on? Cause shit.
What do you think? Someone's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm from Arkansas."
Who?
Yeah, let's stop joking, Arkansas.
Who?
Oh man!
I understand we the main character.
We are the main characters. You kidding me? We're never the supporting character. Always main, never supporting.
Yep.
You guys support us.
So guys, final impressions on this episode and the series in general so far and going forward. And what
you want to take the floor?
Yep, I'll take it. This episode was bite sized. It was good. The animation was on point. Yep. I enjoyed the progression of the story. Like there was no question that I was gonna watch episode 3. And I did along with the rest of them. These first 2 episodes really set the stage. And by the time you got to episode 2, you was hooked. It was like, yeah, all right, I'm here.
Yeah. I loved everything he said because I agree to all of that. I was already sitting there saying I'm gonna watch this whole series. I literally, no funny, took the day off when this series came out just so I can watch all 8 episodes. And episode 2 was great, and as each episode went on, I think there was definitely more episodes I liked more than others, but the series was just so much fun. So I really enjoyed this. This didn't let me down, unlike Sonic Underground.
But doing my fast fact, finding out that there's 24 in total make very happy because we're gonna go through a whole bunch of it. Knowing the next core isn't it, and we have like a good chunk. We got probably like 3 or 4 cores ideally of this show. That's gonna be spread out over time. Gonna be here all bit great. Following up on the last episode, favorite part of all this as a Shadow fan, this is the best characterization of Shadow on the show. They give Shadow, they show pretty much that Sonic and Shadow are honestly legit the main character because Shadow is the redeeming. Like Shadow feels like the brain and the thought process outside of a bubble that Sonic is in. So they characterize Shadow like freaking well. I love the fight. I honestly think the Shadow and Sonic fight matches up with the game, and it's on par to like be one of those parts of those AMVs that they put all together all the time on YouTube. This is right there in the ballpark. Episode is very nice with all the fight choreography and the backstory and pulling on your heartstrings and having attachments to like former video games like that. So fight characterization, all that is there. I'm enjoying the vibe. Series, sure, 100% recommend just in general. Off these 2 episodes, definitely hooked. So definitely go forward with this. Get hooked into it. Netflix found the money and they give a fuck. This is what matters.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the next set. Bring it on.
Absolutely.
Going all the way to 24 episodes. I'm going to be here for the whole run.
Yeah, I'm already buckled in.
Yep,
right?
Shout out. That's our recommendation on Sonic Prime, and we about to close the book up on that.
Absolutely. And good stuff.
Closing the book with a shadow punch.
Yep, exactly. Shit, can't get caught lacking.
No, you can't.
Yep. That closes the book on Sonic Prime with us. And all right, so I'm going to say for our preview, for our next review episode, get to it. Our next review up will be a Down with BMP episode. My choice for this one coming up, we're going to be under the same banner of Sentai-like stuff. So we're going to be doing the Big Bad Beetleborg episode 1.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
You mean them robots in the Red Forever Red episode?
Yep. We're going to get into detail of all of that shit for sure. This is probably the best, closest representation of something that almost was a success on Power Rangers, and we're going to talk about that show.
Oh, you mean the reason why we got what's his face?
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Turbo?
Well, you about to find out. You're about to find out. Something kicked one person's ass in the rating, sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so that should be an interesting episode.
Yep. So, guest, before we start plugging away our stuff, we want to give the floor to our guest, Bad Guy Jack.
Well,
talk about all the greatness of you, man.
Oh man, first off, I want to say thank you guys for bringing me on. I know this was a long time coming, and I appreciate you guys.
Adventure. This shit was great. Yes.
No, this was tremendous. It was such a fun conversation about just everything. And when you guys do that episode about Big Bad Beetleborgs or Beetleborgs, because I remember it was Beetleborgs and Big Bad, it's going to be fun, and it's amazing because a lot of people don't remember that, or VR Troopers, and I feel like I'm missing another one. I think it was some samurai. I forget.
There's a bunch that will be getting it. We hit Sentai like stuff. We're gonna hit.
And I'll be down to listen for that. But yeah, you can catch me on Unpopular Review. I'm on Tuesdays reviewing NXT with my co-host Captain Shakespeare. I'll be reviewing now The Challenge. They have kidnapped me and brought me on Wednesday. Now I'm doing The Challenge. We do one shots. There's a possibility we'll be reviewing The Flash since this is the last season. And every now and then on Instagram we have something called UPR Battle. The latest battle is going to be Dark Phoenix against Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Let's go Sailor Moon. Wow. Oh, okay. We see where you are.
Yep.
Man with the plan. I guess your plan has just ran out. But but that's that. And also I have an audio podcast with the captain. It's called the Big Pop Theory Podcast. We talk about all the things that's going on in wrestling. And that's about it. So that's all the fine stuff. You can catch me. I have a little Twitch. It's BadGuy _Jack TV. I play Sonic Frontiers, and I curse a lot there. So there.
Sounds like a good time throughout all that good stuff.
Thank you.
So go follow Bad Guy Jack and all of his endeavors. Good guy, he's family, and you know we respect out here and we show love to our family out here. So follow up and listen and watch and go through all his journeys together. All the sweary ones and all the nice ones all together. So yep. Big love to that. All right, so we got an email set up, y'all. blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook and Instagram at Blerd By Nature, and Twitter at Blerd By Nature, Nature N-A-R-E. Co-host, hit us YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Right, all right. And as you flow with us, we got our episodes out. We count out. Gonna be working on dropping some stuff coming up soon. Do we have any final notes before I hit the outro, y'all?
This was fun. This was great. Watch Sonic Prime.
Yeah.
That's the best I got for you guys. Watch Sonic Prime. And I guess the last piece I wanted to say this: 2022 was a great year for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I can't wait to see what more goes down for the blue boy, my guy.
Right, so anything is flowing. Let's hope things keep on the rails and keep moving. No craziness this year. I know. I'm like, no further craziness. I'm like,
just tone down the craziness is what he's asking.
Yes.
See how that is. But yes, family, we do appreciate you for coming on, Jack. And we having a good time. It's been a long time coming. We've been saying your name for a long time, and it's great. It's great to have family on. Oh.
And I can't wait till we link up in real life. I know we got some adventures going on that's gonna happen. I mean,
definitely.
Can't wait. So I can't wait for that. So thank you guys.
Without a doubt. So guys, hit the outro.
Yes,
please do.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, Black Thought Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, the Go With Flow,
and this is the man with the plan, Maurice.
Oh, and I'm Jack. AKA Bad Guy Jack. Hi.
Hey, and this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and until next time, peace.
Peace.